Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cheel Arena for the second game of this afternoon as the Clarkson men's team will face off against Princeton to wrap up the regular season. It'll be the last of two games here for this Clarkson men's team. I am Kevin Carlin, joined tonight by Brian Warner, who serves as the video coach for the Clarkson women's team. And Brian, I got to ask you before we get started, what exactly does that entail, and how have you been enjoying it so far?
It's been a great experience so far, getting to travel with the team this year, just helping out, getting clips of the game cut up so coaches can go back and look at everything during the week and see what went wrong, what went right throughout the games over the weekend, and get the scouting real good.
An integral part to this Clarkson winning team as they come away with a big victory this afternoon, taking down Yale 10-1. It was a blowout in the first round of this ECAC tournament. A lot of things went right for the Golden Knights. That top line again producing 6 points for Lauren Gable. And how about that hat trick in the first period, Brian?
Yeah, real quick hat trick, 4 minutes and 12 seconds into the game. Gable able to get things going real early for the Golden Knights, but a little struggle early on as they couldn't really get it out of the zone, but then getting that first one underneath the belt and just kept things rolling throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought Yale had a really nice opening shift, but then Lauren Gable just took over, put that hat trick in the back of the net, and from that point on, it really was all Clarkson in a dominant effort. Game 2 of that series will be tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll shift gears now. We'll talk a little bit about this matchup between Clarkson and Princeton. So this Golden Knight team, they come in with a 19-8-5 overall record, 11-5-4 in conference play, and you can really break up the season into 3 distinct stretches where they started off 4-3-1, kind of finding their legs at the start of the season, and then that 14-game win streak where just everything seemed to be going their way, and now this 10-game skid where they've gone 1-5-4, and that's their longest their winless stretch in 3 seasons. So really just looking for answers and trying to find some momentum as they head into the playoffs. They have secured the first round bye. However, they're trying to return to that dominant form that they had during that winning streak where Jake Kiley was near perfect in net, making all the big saves, and that top line for Clarkson that had been broken up for some time. Brosseau, Sturm, and Rempel, they were apart. They're back together, looking to get the top line producing again. Sheldon Rempel slipped a little bit in that point race. He's back towards the top, I believe 20th in the nation right now, but you'd like to see this top line get back on track, Brian.
Yeah, and they're going to have to come out and produce. They're going to have to show up tonight. Princeton not going to be an easy team. We just saw them take down the girls on the road a couple weeks ago, and the women sitting at a similar position where Princeton just kind of a middle-of-the-pack team sitting around 6th or 7th in the ECAC, right around 500, but they came out and got a big win on the road and stopped that win streak for the girls. And the guys are going to have to come out and not fall victim to playing sloppy to a team that they think should be easy. They still got to come out and play the best hockey.
And Princeton has really hit the gas over the last couple games. They've taken 6 of their past 8, and that includes a 4-3 comeback win over Clarkson. And offense has really been their specialty. Max Verano, 5th in the league with 39 points. Ryan Kuffner not too far back with 37 of his own. As both teams take the ice, we'll bring you starting lineups of both of these teams. We'll start with Princeton University.
And starting at left defense is the junior, number 4, Josh Tevis. And on his right-hand side is the freshman, number 24, Matthew Tom, out of Oakville, Ontario. And starting at left wing is the senior, number 18, Eric Robinson, out of Belmar, New Jersey. Centering the starting line is number 10, the sophomore, out of West Vancouver, British Columbia, Jackson Cressy. And on the right wing, the senior, number 16, David Hollisey. And in net for the Tigers is number 30, Ryan Furland, out of Franklin, Massachusetts. 11, 10, and 3 on the season, 3.17 goals against average, and a .908 save percentage in just his freshman year.
So with that being said, we'll switch gears. We'll bring you the starting lineups of the Clarkson Golden Knights. Starting at left defense for the Golden Knights will be the senior, number 44, Terrence Amorosa, the draft pick of the Philadelphia Flyers out of Kirkland, Quebec.
And that was not Terrence Amorosa that came out first, got a little junior night as Amorosa comes onto the ice.
At right D for the Golden Knights will be number 5, Kelly Summers. Starting at left wing for the Golden Knights will be the sophomore alternate captain, number 14, Devin Brasseau. Centering this top line for the Golden Knights will be another sophomore, number 17, Nico Sturm. At right wing for the Golden Knights will be the sophomore from Calgary, Alberta, 20 goals on the season, number 11, Sheldon Rempel. Between the pipes for the Golden Knights will be the sophomore from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, number 29, Jake Kiley. Kiley with a .930 save percentage, 1.82 goals against average. He's turned in 18 wins on the season. We'll look to add a 19th here against Princeton as the Golden Knights wrap up the regular season this weekend, facing off first against Princeton. So with that being said, we're just about ready for national anthems. When we come back, we'll have puck drop for the start of the first period. We'll be right back. we're just about ready for puck drop here at Shield Arena. Clarkson will take on Princeton as they wrap up regular season play this weekend. Tonight's officials will be referees Peter Fiola and Brian Hicks. Linesmen will be Ryan Knapp and Jordan Paterino. I am Kevin Carlin. I will bring you play-by-play for tonight's action. Brian Warner will be joining me in just a moment as we get ready to start this one off, as this Golden Knight team looking to get back on track, get back to that winning formula they had during the 14-game winning streak. We saw them go as far as #1 in the pairwise. They've slipped back down to that number 9, number 10 range, but they've got all the tools. They just need some proper execution. They've got the top line reunited with Brosseau, Sturm, and Rempel up front. And I think the big test for the Golden Knights is going to be how this defense can stack up against this top two lines of Princeton, where the offense has really just been piling up.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the top two lines of both these teams, they're kind of evenly matched up. Not so much the second line for Clarkson, but still able to score with Dickinson, Jacome, and Sherzin.
Off the face-off, here comes Brosseau in over the line. It's going to slide back behind the goal line. Brosseau battling with Matthew Tom. Here's Sheldon Rempel working his way back to the point. They'll go across for Kelly Summers with a shot and a kick save made by Ferland. On the near side, it's played right back behind the net. Here's Tom advancing it, picked off by Sturm, but brought back the other way by Eric Robinson. In with the Clarkson line, he'll tap the brakes, looking back to the point for Tevis. That's swiped away, goes up in the air. Now knocked down by the Golden Knights, kept alive. Pass in front by Hallisey is broken up. Here's Robinson driving in down low, goes back behind the net, and that pass goes past everyone all the way down. Ferland comes out to play it. Both teams will make line changes, as Princeton will look to start it right back up. From behind their own goal line, here's Grabowski through the neutral zone, goes off a stick, up in the air, and off the end boards. Kiley out to play it. He'll wrap it around the near side boards. Kept alive at the point. Tigers still with it. Worked back for Verono on the far side. A shot through traffic is blocked as Pirog will be in pursuit. First one there is Nelson. On the far side boards, Clarkson still trapped in their own zone. Here's Nelson at the left point with a shot that goes off of Pirog. Now collected in the corner by the captain, Nick Pirog. Pass forward for Dylan Garreau. He'll hustle after it. Gaining the line, here's Garreau with a shot. And a nice save made by Ryan Ferland.
And some good energy from both teams early on in the first minute and a half of the game. And talking earlier about how Clarkson just trying to get their legs back under themselves and get things going, get back to winning. They won 10 in a row to start the conference, but again, that first round bye, so hopefully able to get things figured out by the playoffs and see if they can get it done tonight.
Here's Jermaine and Dickinson on the face-off in Princeton territory. Dickinson pulls it back. Here's Jerry Astrom with a shot and another save made by Ferland. And realistically, Princeton can leapfrog a couple teams with a strong performance on their North Country trip, as they stand in 7th place in a tie with Yale. They have 19 points. They trail Colgate by 1 and Dartmouth by 2, so they could hop over a couple teams, try to get into favorable position as we head towards playoffs. Jacome tries to center it. It'll be brought back the other way now by Liam Grande. Through the neutral zone, he'll scoop it in on the backhand. Tiley comes out to play to leave it for Karjalainen on the far side. Stepping up is Topatai, putting it out in front with a one-timer. That goes wide off the stick of Grande. Another chance out in front, be cleared by the Golden Knights. Here comes Josh Dickinson, gaining the red line. He'll fire it in off the end boards. Be collected now by the Tigers. A couple bodies hit the ice as Princeton will now start the breakout. Here's Grande. He'll send this one into Clarkson territory. Summers in pursuit. He'll battle behind the net. Poking at it is Amorosa. As it finally comes loose, Princeton with possession. They'll kick it back to the point for Tevis. Across now for Tom. He'll play it right back down low. Brett Gervais is going to get there first. Just too far for Amorosa. Collecting is Ben Dalpe as they'll spin this one in. 17:30 left in this first period. As Princeton will start it up from behind their own goal line. Here's Josh Tevis. On the near side boards, nice hit laid by Kelly Summers. Goes off the end boards for Amorosa as he'll battle in the corner, trying to get it up the boards for Dalpe. Whacking away at it was Quince. It'll come right back for Amorosa. Able to connect with Gervais, tapping it forward for Ben Dalpe as he'll ease it in over the line couple collisions right in front of the Clarkson bench as Josh Tevis will start the rush for Princeton through the neutral zone. His pass picked off by Brousseau, tapped in over the line. Rempel trying to force a turnover. It's going to trickle back into Clarkson territory. Here's Greg Morrow shielding it away from Cressy. He'll tap it right back for Aaron Tho. Now back to Morrow once more, and he'll connect with Tho. Pass forward looking for Brousseau, goes past everyone. Grabowski gets back to tag up, and it's an icing against Clarkson.
Lucky for them, these guys haven't been out for too long, so not too terribly tired. Getting caught out there, winded, is not the best thing for these forwards or defensemen.
On the face-off, pulled back by Sturm off the end boards, as Morrow's going to try to jam this one forward. A couple other players will join in on the fun, as this one's still being dug at. Now back at the point, a shot by Nelson. Glove save made by Kiley, kept alive at the point, and that one's blocked by Morrow. Here comes Nico Sturm, able to dance past one, gaining the line over to Rempel, trying to center it for Sturm. That goes off of Matt Nelson. Now behind the net, here's Rempel, able to connect with Brousseau, trying to get past Nelson as he's taken off the puck. Here's Grabowski, the captain, right back the other way for Princeton. His pass is broken up by Brousseau. Amorosa sent right back in over the line on the near side boards. Cressy's going to play right back behind the goal line for Nelson. To the far side, Grabowski. Now here comes Jackson Cressy through the neutral zone, gaining the red line. He'll fire it in. After it is Terrence Amorosa for the Golden Knights. Here's Amorosa finding Eagle with a shot that is blocked. In the corner, Eagle will collect once more. Trying to work this along the boards. Princeton will begin the breakout. Through the neutral zone, broken up nicely by Amorosa. Another pass forward by Princeton. They'll gain the line. Here's an opportunity broken up nicely by Summers. Back behind the net, they battle. As Clarkson will try to start the breakout, Summers puts it up off the glass. He'll clear it back to center ice. As Derek Topatai is going to settle it down for Princeton. Finding Kupner on the near side, now in over the line. A shot is kicked away by Kiley as Verona let it go. From behind their own goal line, Knights will start it back up. Here's Jacome at center ice. He'll find Dickinson in line with some speed, driving in down low on the backhand. Just puts it wide of the net. Here's Josh Dickinson in the corner looking for Sherazin. It'll be collected by Topatai as he'll get some help down low. They'll try to start the breakout. Jacome doing everything he can to keep it alive as he's taken to the ice. Here's Dickinson out in front for Sherazin. Couldn't get a shot off. As this one's put off the glass, back to the neutral zone. Astron with it for the Golden Knights. He'll go D to D for Carolina, fires one right on net. Blockered away by Furland. On the near side, here comes Liam Grande. He'll gain the red line and flip one in. Goes off the end boards. Battling is Astron, able to tap it forward and recollect. Now forward for Marley Quince. He'll gain the blue line as he loses his footing. He'll be brought right back the other way by Josh Tevis. Gaining the Clarkson line. Here's Tevis as he is taken down hard by Astron and Morrow. Back behind the net, Morrow without a stick, trying to fend against Grande. Grande still with it in the corner, working it back for Tevis. He'll play it down low. Looking for Jeremy Germain. He's taken off the puck. Here's Grande back to the point. A shot and a save by Kiley. Worked right back to the point. Tevis will play right back down low. Here's Astron colliding with his man. Played out in front. Here's Grande. Doesn't shoot. Now on the backhand he does. Kiley makes the save, and he's going to hang on as some extracurricular activity will ensue. Referees getting involved. Here's Grande going at it right out in front, I believe with Marley Quince. Pardon me, Ben Dalpe.
Yeah, very crucial for the Knights to either get it out of the zone there or get a stoppage with Greg Morrow without a stick there for quite some time as it is broken half, and he's getting off the ice and getting a fresh twig in his hands.
And Marley Quince is in the penalty box, and it looks like that is going to be the only call ensuing. So it does appear that we're going to see a power play here from Princeton as Marley Quince gets the gate. So we'll see what Tigers can do on the power play with their first opportunity of the evening, as the Knights will clear this one all the way down. Out to play it is Furland. From behind their own goal line, Josh Tevis will start the rush. Here's Kuffner. He'll send this one in over the Clarkson line. Kiley out to play it. He'll find Aaron Tho, who will clear this one all the way down once more. Josh Tevis will start it up once more. From behind his own goal line, hitting the gas. He'll drop it right behind him for Ryan Kuffner. Looking to the far side, Verona will tap it in. Here's Kelly Summers with it, lifting this one all the way down the ice once more. A great penalty kill so far from the Golden Knights. Sturm pressuring, he'll force Ryan Ferland to cover up for the whistle.
Great penalty kill so far. You saw that top forward pair of Gervais and Garreau getting some work in, been doing that. Both those guys been killing penalties since their freshman year, it seems, and doing a great job their senior year.
Face-off will be to the glove side of Ryan Ferland, a rare right-hand glove goaltender. As Pirog tries to pull it back, here's Grande. He'll connect with Eric Robinson as he'll start the rush, able to gain the Clarkson line to the far side. Here's Grande looking back to the point. He'll find Yoakum to the far side and right back to Yoakum once more. At the top of the umbrella, Reed Yoakum. He'll go to the near side looking for Alex Rich. Comes right out in front. Glove down by Eric Robinson. The Tigers on the cycle. Here's Grande to the top of the umbrella once more. Holding his Yoakum. He'll work it for Grande at the face-off dot. Looking right out in front. A one-timer chance for Robinson. Couldn't get good wood on it. Comes back to the point. Yoakum over to the far side. Now back to the near once more for Rich. Stepping up, cutting into the slot with a shot that's blocked. Here's Robinson, throws it right through the crease. To the far side, Jacome has some time and space. He'll skate this one himself. And he'll fire it all the way down the ice right on net. Ferland plays it with the glove as 15 seconds remain in the penalty to Marley Quince. Topatai is going to start the rush. Pass forward for Verano. Gaining the Clarkson line. He'll throw one right out in front. Goes off of Astron and behind the net. Now worked back to the point. Here's Nelson with a shot that goes wide. Wraps around the far side boards. Played forward by Rempel. And now Garreau is going to spin this one back to the neutral zone. As we're back at 5-on-5. On the far side boards, they battle. Collecting the loose puck is Sturm. He'll advance it for Sheldon Rempel. Gaining the red line, he'll slide it in. In pursuit is Brosseau, trying to lift the stick of the defender. Here's Nico Sturm, throwing it out in front, goes off a stick and back to the neutral zone. Here's Teko Karjalainen going D-to-D for Kelly Summers. Now Summers loses control. It's going to slide right back into Golden Knight territory. Nico Sturm will wheel this one from his own zone. Here's Sturm losing control, be recovered by Princeton. Back after it in their own zone, it's Becker battling in the corner. Here's Sturm trying to fish this one loose. And it's going to be Princeton back the other way. Max Becker with it on his blade. He'll fire one in and get some fresh legs for Princeton. 10:30 left to go in this first period of play. Still looking for the first goal here between Princeton and Clarkson. Penalty call coming up. That's going to draw the whistle.
It looks like it's going to be Matthew Tom by the looks of it. The way the referees are signaling. And he'll go sit for two. And it is not Matthew Tom, it's Jack Jacome going off for Clarkson.
And I think the referees confused Ryan Ferland too, as he had started to make the journey towards the bench.
We saw that a couple weeks ago. I believe it was when the girls were playing Yale in the regular season, and both Shea Tiley and the goaltender for Yale both started skating towards their bench at the same time on a delayed call, so some confusion on the play.
And this is exactly what we were talking about, the sloppiness of Clarkson over this winless streak. Some undisciplined play, you know, that you really got to clean that up, especially heading into the postseason. Fortunately for them, the penalty kill's been solid so far, although they're going to be tasked with another kill here. We'll see what they can do as Josh Tevis will start it right back up. Drop pass from Cressy. He's going to find Kuffner. Looking for Verona for the tap-in. That's off the mark, and it's going to be an icing against Princeton.
And you hate to see a team get the power play and then ice the puck and have to get all that progress. Start down right next to their goaltender, but happens to the best of the best.
Face-off will be between Josh Dickinson and Jackson Cressy. Two underclassmen who have put up some stellar numbers. Here's Dickinson pulling it back for Garreau. We're going to try this one again. Jackson Cressy, 61 points in 61 games in his collegiate career. You're going to see Cressy and Garreau on this face-off. Cressy pulls it back. Here's Verano with it in the corner. He'll find Tevis, who's going to hit the gas through the neutral zone. Here's Tevis with some speed. He'll gain the Clarkson line, looking to drop it back to the right point. As Princeton will look to start to get the cycle game going. Verano with it in the corner. He'll find Kuffner, working it back to the point and the near side. Here's Tevis, looking to the face-off dot. Verano down behind the goal line. Princeton on the cycle. Here's Verano with a shot that's blocked behind the net, corralled by Cressy. Works it back to the left point. Verano looking down low for the tap-in, and it goes in. So on the power play, Princeton is going to get the 1-0 lead on some nice cycling. Tapping it home on the back door is the junior Ryan Kuffner.
And it looked like Jake Kiley got a piece of that on the initial try, but a second chance opportunity batted in at the back door. And we'll take a quick break in the play after that goal as the ice crew comes out to shovel up the snow that's collected by the doors.
And that's Kuffner's 24th of the season. And as we mentioned, this top 6 of Princeton has really excelled offensively this year. It's just their one problem has been consistency. However, they've been really pulling it together. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. That includes a 4-3 victory over the Golden Knights. And it's important to get hot at the right time. You know, if this team can keep this momentum going into the playoffs, they can really play spoiler for some of these top-ranked teams in the ECAC. And again, they're jockeying for position, trying to leapfrog Colgate and Dartmouth. And they can do that with a couple wins here this weekend against Clarkson and St. Lawrence. Alex Rich wins the draw, pulls it back for Grabowski on the near side boards. Here's Kuffner, the slider right back for Matt Nelson. Here's Nelson trying to get away from Brasseau. Pass forward for Ryan Kuffner. Give and go, Kuffner in over the line with a shot. Nice save by Kiley. Up in the air, knocked down by Sturm. Behind the goal line, Kelly Summers will backtrack. He'll find Nico Sturm. Now gaining the line, shifted over for Rempel in the high slot. Delayed call coming up here against Princeton. Shot by Rempel through traffic is blocked. And now penalty call coming up against Princeton. Clarkson will have their first power play of the evening.
That's going to be a hooking call. And looks like Max Veranu going over there. Not too willing to get there at first, but he will sit for 2, and we'll get our first look at this Clarkson power play as they've got two decent lines that are definitely capable of scoring.
They'll start with the second power play unit, centered by Josh Dickinson as he wins the draw. Here's Eagle back at the point. He'll connect with Jacome at the top of the circle. Played down low for Dickinson, looking to go out in front. That was blocked by Grabowski. Knights keep it alive is Jack Jacome, back for Jerry Astron. To the far side, Eagle fakes the shot, looking to go back for Jacome. That went off a stick, but settled right back down by Jack Jacome in the high slot. He'll step up, now circling back at the far side, finding Jerry Astron. Will tap it down low on the backhand. Here's Dickinson, back for Jerry Astron, fakes a shot over to Eagle. Eagle backpedaling near the blue line. He'll connect with Jack Jacome. Looking to go down low for Dickinson. Went off a stick. Dickinson with a nice chance. Can't get the shot off. On the far side boards, Jacome battling. Him and Sherizan in there. Jacome able to work it back to the point for Jerry Astron. Winding in, firing. That one goes through traffic. Don't believe it made its way to Furland. In the corner they battle as Astron's going to keep it in. He'll connect with Eagle. Looking to fire it on net. That is blocked by Matt Nelson. Work back to the point. Here's Eagle stepping up, looking down low for Jacome on the backhand. Still doesn't shoot. He'll turn around. Here's Jacome with a shot that's blocked again on the far side. It's going to come back to the left point. Astron now over to Eagle. Rolling puck gets away from him. He'll move in down low. Now right back to Jacome at the faceoff dot. Jacome with a shot that is saved and sent down the ice. However, another penalty call coming up against Princeton.
Yeah, so 37 seconds of 5-on-3, and Casey Jones making the call to put that second unit with Dickinson and Sherzan and Eagle out there, and getting an opportunity with the 5-on-3 with this line of sophomores, Rempel, Sturm, and Brousseau, and then Kelly Summers, Terrence Amorosa out there, as it was Joe Grabowski going off for a cross check down in the crease and getting a little chat from the referee, Peter Fiala, down there. And play has ceased for that, but will resume now.
I love the play of Jack Jacome on the power play, a very patient player waiting for the right chance. No, he's not going to throw just anything at the net. He wants to wait and make sure he's getting the best opportunities possible and doing some great work on that second power play unit. Clarkson now on the 5-on-3. It's Summers working it down low for Brousseau, and right back to Kelly Summers. Over to Amorosa, fakes the shot down low for Brousseau, trying to go back door for Sheldon Rempel, and cleared by Princeton. Amorosa will backtrack from his own zone. He'll start the rush over to Sheldon Rempel. In over the line, he'll circle back, taps it back to the point for Kelly Summers. 9 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Here's Amorosa over to Summers, back to Amorosa with a one-timer, and a nice save by Ryan Furland.
And some good looks for this unit out here on the power play. They'll have a face-off in 3 more seconds until it goes back to just a one-man advantage. We'll have to wait and see if Verono comes out and stays for the penalty kill or heads off straight to the bench.
Be Jackson Cressy and Nico Sturm on the face-off. Sturm pulls it back. Here's Rempel with it, driving in on the backhand. As we're back to 5-on-4, here's Rempel with it in the corner. And work it back to the point. Summers cross now for Amorosa. He'll work it to the face-off dot for Brousseau, trying to spin it down low for Sturm, as now he'll connect behind the goal line with Sturm. Back to Amorosa, across for Summers with a one-timer. That finds the glass, wraps around the near side boards, and chopped out of play. It's going to knock a Pepsi cup out of a fan. However, he's going to get a puck out of it, so I think that's a fair deal.
Yeah, still made the catch, but lost his drink, and I'll take that trade any day, Kevin.
Absolutely. So Clarkson with the man advantage. They're back to a 5-on-4 for 1 minute and 3 seconds unless they find the back of the net. They're going to stick with the top unit as Sturm and Cressy will face off once more. So those two tie-up, goes up in the air, corralled by Sheldon Rempel, driving in on net, looking for options, trying to go upstairs. That goes high and finds the glass. Work back to the right point, Amorosa to the far side, Summers, and right back for Terrence Amorosa. Holding, now over to Brousseau at the dot. Played down low to Sturm, looking out in front. That's blocked as Sturm goes the ice. Clarkson crowd wanted a call. Here's Amorosa, back to the point, Summers. Down low for Rempel. Looking back to the point, knocked down by Summers with a shot that goes wide. Rebound will be corralled by Rempel. Worked back to the point, Amorosa can't keep it in, and the Knights will have to backtrack. They'll bring it right back in. Here's Brousseau, dropping it off for Rempel. At the face-off dot, he'll tap the brakes, working his way back to the point. Going across now for Amorosa, down low for Brousseau, mishandles the pass. He'll push it back behind the net. Summers going to keep it alive at the far point. 9 seconds left in this Clarkson power play. Here's Amorosa, down low for Rempel, one-timer, and he scores! In the last few moments of the power play, the Knights get it done. Sheldon Rempel gets his 21st of the season, makes no mistake, burying the one-timer home, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, it looked like that saucer pass from the right point from Terrence Amorosa, getting all the way diagonally across the ice for Rempel. Looked like it barely made contact with the ice and just able to get the one-timer off and bury it before Furlan can get back across, and we have a tie game.
That's exactly what the Golden Knights needed, able to capitalize on the power play, and we have a tie game with 5 minutes and some change left to go in this first period of play. This one's knocked down by Jerry Astrin, touched by Garreau, so it's going to be a hand pass against the Golden Knights.
Yeah, some fans wanting a call back on the power play. Nico Sturm not really able to move, but referees swallowing their whistles, and doesn't make too much of a difference in the end as Rempel able to get that one on the power play.
So figuring out where this face-off's going to be, they're going to move it back to the neutral zone.
And then back back to the Clarkson defensive zone.
I'm hoping this is the final answer. I think it's going to stay down here. Looks like we're good to go. Luke Keenan and Nick Pirog on the face-off. We'll try it again. And another time as Keenan gets tossed, it'll be Pagnelli who will step in to take the draw, tying up with Pirog as the captain pulls it back off the end boards for Karjalainen over to Eagle and back to Pirog, who will gain the line. Karjalainen going to the net, rebound there for Karjalainen, couldn't put it away, and now a chance for the Golden Knights as Ferland couldn't get that rebound covered up. His defenseman smartly trying to put it right back under the glove of Ferland, and they get the whistle to do some damage control.
And that puck was still a little loose, but the referee blew the whistles. Fans in here not too happy, but referee lost sight of the puck and decided to blow his whistle.
So offensive zone draw for the Golden Knights. They'll bring up the freshman line of Sherazin, Dickinson, and Jacome. Dickinson wins the draw. Back at the point, it's Aaron Tho. Will spin it in on the backhand. Off the boards, it's Topatai battling with Jack Jacome. Driving in there is Sherazin as well. It's Eric Robinson who corrals the loose puck. He'll advance it for Jackson Cressy. Able to tap it past Aaron Tho. He'll hustle after it in the corner as those two collide. Kicking at it is Cressy. As Clarkson will look to start the breakout. Here's Aaron Tho. He'll skate this one himself. Now advancing it for Josh Dickinson. Gaining the line. There's Dickinson with a drive. Blockered away. Another chance for Jacome. Was a high stick. Wouldn't have counted, and that's going to draw the whistle.
And we talked so much about this freshman line and the sophomore line, which we referred to last year as the freshman line. But Jacome, Dickinson, and Sherazin, and then Rempel, Sturm, and Brousseau, and Casey Jones has done a good job these last 2 years recruiting guys. We got Dickinson and Jacome both played for the Georgetown Raiders last year, and then Brousseau and Rempel both for the Nanaimo Clippers the year before that, and getting just one extra piece to tie in and really add line chemistry, and those lines have been firing on all cylinders throughout the season.
Casey Jones' 5-year plan really starting to take shape. These last 2 seasons had a couple great recruiting classes. Here's a chance for Princeton with Ryan Kuffner looking for his second of the game. They'll work it back to the point. Grabowski able to keep it alive, goes wide of the net, knifed at by Kiley. As a battle in the far corner, here's Rich with it, trying to work it back to the point. Able to get it back for a shot by Grabowski. However, just came out of the zone. It's going to be an offside against Princeton. So 4:02 remains in this first period of play. A tie game, 1 goal apiece between Clarkson and Princeton. This faceoff will come back to the neutral zone. Nick Pirog and Alex Rich set to take the draw. And Pirog jumps the gun. He's going to get tossed. Stepping in is Harold's Eagle. And the faceoff won by Rich. It's going to come back into the Princeton zone. Here's Matt Nelson from behind his own goal line. He'll connect with Kuffner on the near side boards. Working it back into the corner. He'll find Grabowski. Turned over. Eagle plays it into the low slot. Chopped away nicely, but knifed at by Summers. They'll keep it alive in the corner for Pirog. Pirog and Eagle battling on the far side boards now, swiped at by Verano as he'll start the rush for Princeton. Finding Ryan Kuffner, he'll tap it in and hustle after it in the corner as he collides with Summers. Summers pinning his man in the corner. Amorosa trying to collect the loose puck. So he had it for just a moment, goes right back into the pile. Now here's Summers, going to push it forward. Not out of the zone. Tevis with a shot that's blocked off the far side boards. Ryan Kuffner working his way back to the point. He'll play it right back down low. Goes up in the air, nearly goes in. A nice play by Pirog to push it away. As Kiley didn't know where it was, it trickled right in on net. Dalpe's going to gain the red line and fire it in. From behind his own net, Josh Tevis will start it up, looking to go D to D for Matthew Tom. Through the neutral zone, Karjalainen's going to force a turnover. Dalpe taps it right back in. Here's Josh Tevis in the corner, turns it over. Here's Gervais trying to go out in front for Quinns. That pass was just broken up. Back the other way comes Max Becker, trying to center it forward. Grande with a shot, and Jake Kiley makes the save.
And we've seen Jake Kiley make some great saves so far in his almost 2-year career now, coming in last year and getting the starting position and securing that with 2 freshmen behind him this year in Latinovich and Jansen. But gonna have to keep making those big saves if Clarkson wants to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Here's Greg Morrow pushing it on the far side. Boards a collide with Jackson Cressy. Tapped forward now by Brasseau. Sent right back in and blocked by Greg Morrow. We'll start it back up. He collides with Sturm. Miscommunication there as the Knights will start it right back up. Here's Nico Sturm gaining the line, trying to walk past the defender. Swiped away nicely by Reed Yoakum. On the far side, they battle. Princeton will start the rush. Here's Eric Robinson. Was up in the air, pushed forward by Hallisey. Back behind the goal line, they're going to battle right in the corner. Greg Morrow able to push it forward, lifted back into the Princeton zone by Rempel. No icing on the play. Here's Derek Topatai back after it for Princeton. Just under 2 minutes left to go in this first period of play. A 1-1 tie here between Clarkson and Princeton. And here comes Princeton on the rush. It's Joey Fallon is able to gain the line. Broken up nicely by the Golden Knights as Amorosa will put it off the far side boards for Dickinson. However, picked off. But Fallon will have to backtrack from his own zone. Here's Fallon to the near side. Keenan takes a hit from Summers. Jack Jacome will collect the loose puck, finding Dickinson. And as Dickinson will gain the line, Sherzan was just a step offside. That's going to draw the whistle. So we mentioned this Clarkson team on a 10-game skid where they've had their longest winless stretch in 3 seasons. They've gone 1-5-4 over their past 10 games. They're looking to get some momentum going as they head into the playoffs. They've already secured a first-round bye, but the state of the team has not been great as they really need to get back on track, and a couple wins this weekend would do great efforts towards doing that. Here's an odd man rush. Kuffner driving in, and Kiley makes the blocker save. Kuffner looking for his second of the game. Here's Eagle connecting with Karjalainen, driving in. He'll throw it right on net. Glove save made by Ryan Furland, who's going to hang on for the whistle.
And on the opposite side of that, you mentioned earlier Princeton winning 6 of their last 8 and really trying to put a good streak together. They've got one going so far, but if they can get some good work this weekend in the last weekend of the regular season at Clarkson and St. Lawrence, they can potentially get a really good first-round matchup against Rensselaer or St. Lawrence, or they could even drop down into 9th place and have to go on the road for the first round of the playoffs next weekend, depending on the play of Quinnipiac and Yale. But really just fighting for that first-round home playoff berth for Princeton, and you can see it so far, playing a great game against one of the ECAC's top teams.
Here's Ryan Kuffner going back for Tom. Advance now for Verano. Broken up nicely by the Golden Knights. They'll backtrack for Kelly Summers. Now up for Eagle, looking for Pirog. That one goes up over his blade. Back after it is Amorosa as he'll connect with Nick Pirog. He'll flip this one in and get some fresh legs on the ice for the Golden Knights. Just 28 left to go in this first period of play. Here's Kelly Summers looking out in front. That goes through everyone. Verano back the other way, looking for Robinson, driving it on Amorosa. Broken up nicely by the senior defender, Terrence Amorosa. Right back for Brett Gervais. Reinforcements coming off the bench for the Golden Knights. 9 seconds left to go. Summers will go D-to-D for Amorosa. Now through the neutral zone, too far for Gervais. Matthew Tom will collect in his own zone, and the buzzer will sound to end the first period of play as a 1-1 tie will be the score heading into this first intermission. Goals coming from Ryan Kuffner and Sheldon Rempel. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes for our first intermission report. You are watching Clarkson Hockey here on WCKN. Welcome back to Cheel Arena for the first intermission report here between Clarkson and Princeton. It's a 1-1 tie after the first period of play. I am Kevin Carlin, joined tonight by Brian Warner. We'll break this one down for you. We'll go back to the first goal of the game as Princeton would start it off. A backdoor tap in for Ryan Kuffner, who would get his 24th goal of the season. And it was a nice start for Princeton. They would start off on the man advantage and hammer it home. Ryan Kuffner on the back door, right place at the right time, and puts it past Jake Kiley.
And Clarkson able to kill off their first penalty, but not so fortunate on the second one, as they're able to just bury that one at back door. And then seeing a similar goal later on Clarkson's second power play, Princeton taking 2 penalties back-to-back, giving them a little bit of an opportunity on the 5-on-3 with Brosseau, Sturm, and Rempel out there, along with Amorosa and Summers at the point. And Amorosa able to just get a nice saucer pass from the top right point down low to Rempel, and going all the way across the ice, and Rempel able to hammer it home past Ferland to give Clarkson the tying goal and make it a 1-1 game going into the second period.
Yeah, and you can see that Sheldon Rempel is the designated shooter on that power play unit. You know, all the plays that they're making, they're trying to end up with Rempel getting that one-timer right around that left face-off dot, the right-hand shot on the left side. You know, he's great at dropping down, dropping that knee and putting those one-timers in the back of the net. And he's got 21 on the season now, among the league leaders for goal scoring. You know, he's been hovering around there all season long, went on a bit of a cold streak, but trying to get him back on track, and it's certainly a confidence booster, putting that one in the back of the net in the waning moments of that second power play for the Golden Knights. They had a relatively short 5-on-3 where they couldn't really get much going. It was a nice kill by Princeton, but just too much for them to handle, with the Golden Knights having, as we were just talking about, Brian, the two top defensive point scorers in the ECAC conference.
Yeah, Terrence Amorosa and Kelly Summers, both with over 20 points so far on the season. Amorosa with 22 in 32 games, and Summers with 25 in those same 32 games. Playing all games so far for this Clarkson team, both drafted, Amorosa by the Flyers and Summers for the Ottawa Senators, and the two of them have really been showing off this season. Likely gonna get a call towards the end of the season to see if either of those teams want to have them come play, either for them to make a playoff run or play with their AHL team. If not, likely gonna get some sort of offer when free agency rolls around in the offseason. But another defenseman out there that's been impressive is number 4, Josh Tevis for Princeton. He's been all over the ice, has almost a point per game so far. 22 games, he's got 21 points on 3 goals and 18 assists. He's, I believe, 3rd or 4th, right behind Amorosa and Summers. And up there is also Adam Fox of Harvard. And Adam Fox also with better points per game record than Amorosa and Summers, showing similar signs of skill in the offensive zone with the puck as Shane Gostisbehere of Union a couple years ago, graduated, I believe, in 2014. Don't quote me on that one, but playing currently with the Philadelphia Flyers. And he was one of those guys you could see and just tell he knows what he's doing on both ends of the puck, and definitely not afraid to let it fly in the offensive zone. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gostisbehere has been a great pickup for the Flyers. I believe he was a 3rd-round draft pick, so relatively low-risk investment has paid off highly for Philadelphia. They'll look to add another defenseman in Amorosa, and James DeHaas, a graduate of Clarkson last year, has been playing with their AHL affiliate. Amorosa could end up joining them after the conclusion of his collegiate career. Kelly Summers could certainly step right in, either into Ottawa's AHL system or possibly on the big team, as they project to be sellers at the trade deadline. That could open up some chances for Summers, certainly at least in an AHL role. But talking a little bit more about Adam Fox, a player who went to the World Juniors for the USA team
and had a real rock-solid performance again. Was one of the letter wearers for Team USA, and he would be one of, probably maybe the top scorer defensively in the conference had he not been away for that tournament. Just under a point per game. He had a hat trick last weekend, a real offensive-minded defenseman, very smart player, really good working the blue line on the power play. And Josh Tevz is a great comparison. Almost a point per game himself, and you could see in that first period of play, he loves carrying the puck. He loves being the man who's going to start the rush, gain the blue line, and avoid having to resort to the dump and chase. And you play that smart possession game and then just get the cycle going, and that's what Princeton likes to do. They've got some skilled forwards. Those top two lines centered by Alex Rich and Jackson Cressy. I mentioned this to you, Brian. They make me nervous every time they're out there. They've got a lot of skill and a lot of speed, and they bring a lot of the type of game that Clarkson likes to play with the Sturm and Dickinson lines. They're all about skill and speed, and it's been a really exciting game to watch so far. Two teams that don't necessarily resort to the grind it out in the corners type of game, unless they start to slow it down with some of the bigger defensemen. Those forwards are all about speed and skill, and that provides a great viewing experience for people here at Sheila Arena and for those watching at home.
And you get guys like Robinson, Cressy, Hollisey, Verono, Rich, and Kuffner, those top 6 forwards for Princeton, and all of them over 20 points on the season. The lowest is Robinson and Rich with just 21, but Verono and Kuffner, they've been doing it, I want to say, since their freshman year, been putting up decent points. Both Kuffner with 93 and Verono with 91 points on the year, both over a point per game. They're at 90 games played so far, so really Princeton doing well recruiting those guys and putting together some skilled forwards. Again, you said it earlier, they just need to find the consistency. They're hovering right around 6th or 7th in the ECAC, fighting for that home ice advantage next weekend, and these guys are going to be the ones that are going to bring it home for them if they want to host next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting hot at the right point of the season. They've taken down some better teams over this hot streak. They took down Quinnipiac, they took down Clarkson. They've had some impressive victories, 2 7-2 wins over Brown and RPI. They've been bringing the offense as of late. However, they had one that stands out, the 7-2 loss at Yale. That's the consistency factor we talked about, but they've had a strong performance so far against the Golden Knights. Both teams look to be a little bit more disciplined as they both scored on the power play, one apiece so far. We're just about 3 minutes away from puck drop to start the second period of play. We'll take another quick break and be right back for puck drop to start the second period. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on WCKN. Welcome back to Geel Arena for the start of the second period of play. It's a 1-1 tie between the Clarkson Golden Knights and the Princeton University Tigers. Kevin Carlin and Brian Warner on the call tonight. Covering this action, we'll give you a couple out-of-town scores before we get started. Harvard trails Brown by a score of 2-0 in the second period of play. Down the road in St. Lawrence, the Saints have a 1-1 tie with Quinnipiac. At the end of the first, a scoreless tie between Colgate and Union. And at the start of the second period of play, Dartmouth with a 3-2 advantage on top of Yale. One more score to round it out, Cornell and RPI 0-0 draw at the end of the first period of play. Going back, talking about that Dartmouth team, they have been rolling as of late, able to sweep the Golden Knights this season, taking both matchups. They find themselves in 5th place in the conference with 21 points. They've really turned it on as of late. Similarly to this Princeton team, just getting hot at the right point of the season. So just about ready for puck drop at center ice. Cressy and Sturm, as Sturm pulls it back for the Golden Knights. Tap forward for Rempel. He takes a hit from Tevis. It's going to trickle back off the end boards. Here's Tom, able to whip it on the near side. Here's a chance for Sturm on the turnaround. That's blocked. Back the other way comes Cressy, trying to get away from Amorosa, as Amorosa will scoop it into the corner, as a penalty call is coming up. Well, pardon me, it won't be a penalty call. Saw an arm up, and it's not going to be a call. It's brought into the line by Amorosa. He's going to circle back, looking for Rempel at the point. Tapped right back down low. Tevis battling with Pirog behind the net. Here's Pirog back to Rempel, looking backdoor, and they score. Sheldon Rempel finding Devin Brousseau on the back door. He bangs it home, and Clarkson has their first lead of the evening.
And again, getting Ryan Furland moving laterally across the ice. Once again, as Rempel able to get that one and find his teammate now of several years, Devin Brousseau. And early on in the second period, just 41 seconds in, getting the 2-1 lead.
Clarkson wins the draw. Here's Aaron Tho, D-to-D for Greg Morrow. Now chipped forward by Eagle. That's going to go into the Clarkson bench. So we'll have a whistle. Clarkson with a great start to this second period, still in the first minute of play. And they've got their first lead of the game with Sheldon Rempel finding Devin Brousseau for the one-timer. That's Brousseau's 8th goal of the season. And Clarkson now with the 2-1 lead. Face-off in the neutral zone as Rich and Pirog with a couple shoves back and forth. Stepping in is Kuffner to face off now against Nick Pirog. It's brought in over the line by Rich, tapping it off the boards, tapped right back by Morrow. It's going to go down into the corner with Ryan Kuffner centering it, looking for his man that was just off the mark. Back down the ice it goes. Here's Joe Grabowski in pursuit, looking to start the rush, being harassed by Eagle. Gets it forward for Kuffner, goes off his blade. Greg Morrow's going to win the foot race. He'll start it up from behind his own goal line. Able to find Dylan Garreau. He'll tap it forward. He's met by Grabowski. In the corner, hit by Eagle. And Grabowski's going to start it right back. Played off the skate of Kuffner. He'll come in one-on-one, tossing into the near side corner as Princeton will make line changes. Here's Aaron Tho behind his own net. He'll tap the brakes. Sliding to the near side for Karjalainen through the neutral zone, looking for Garreau as he was taken down. Scooped at in the corner, chipped right back down low by Dickinson, and Liam Grande is going to start it right back up the other way. Here's Germain able to slide it past Astrin, as Jerry Astrin will tap it off the board. Stepping up from the point is Topatai. It goes up in the air, now settled down by Sherazin. He'll tap it to the far side, looking for Jerry Astrin. Up along the boards, whacked at by Jacome. Now Karjalainen will carry, gaining the line. He'll slide over for Dickinson, looking back to the point, picked up by Grande, and now Princeton right back the other way. Grande's going to slide it in on the backhand. Jerry Astrin gets there first in the corner. Now Dickinson able to advance it for Jack Jacome. It will work away from one. Pass just too far for Karjalainen. Grande's going to bring it right back into Clarkson territory. Here's Grande with a shot that's blocked by Astrin. Grande still with it behind the goal line. Battles with Jerry Astrin. Now Kevin Sherazin going to flip this one forward. Not out of the zone. And there's a second chance opportunity from Dickinson. And it's going to clear this right back to Princeton territory. Clarkson finishing up line changes. Right back the other way comes Joey Fallon with a shot. And Kylie's going to make the glove save.
We talked earlier about Princeton they're trying to battle back and make sure they can secure home ice advantage, and that's such a crucial thing for them being out of New Jersey and so many of the teams in this conference being pretty far away from them. St. Lawrence having to travel to Princeton would not bode well for St. Lawrence, as that's a long drive. Had to do it myself this season with the women's team, and not the favorite arena to play in this conference.
Chance broken up by the Golden Knights. Here's Brett Gervais in the corner. Work it back for Summers. Now on the far side boards Marley Quince. He's bodied by Paganelli. Kelly Summers from behind his own goal line. He'll connect with Amorosa. Now here's Ben Dalpe through the neutral zone. He'll gain the red line and fire this one off the end boards. Tevis and Quince collide, as this is going to be a penalty call against the Golden Knights, I presume, as Marley Quince took down Tevis.
And he'll go off for a tripping call. That's one of those that not going to get away with if you're Marley Quince, as a Princeton player going down hard into the boards. And Princeton will get their third opportunity on the power play, able to convert on one of two so far. And they'll try and even things up at 2 apiece with their third opportunity of the night.
Again, Clarkson's got to clean up the discipline. Can't be taking all these penalties, giving this Princeton power play another chance to get on the scoreboard. Here's Greg Morrow able to find Dickinson. With some speed through the neutral zone. Now we'll slow it down, tapping it off the end boards. In pursuit is Nico Sturm. He'll try to take some time off the penalty clock. Working in the corner, Jackson Cressy's going to gain possession. He'll slide it forward for Ryan Kuffner on the near side boards. Here's Hallisey out in front, goes off Verano and wide of the net. Back to the point, here's Tevis. And at the dot for Verano, holding. He'll work it down low for Kuffner. As Kuffner still holding on to working it back for Verano in the high slot. Now he'll drop it off in favor of Jackson Cressy. Now here's Tevis. Working it down low, goes through the legs of Verano. Behind the goal line, looking out in front. He'll try to find his man, broken up by Kylie, who's going to put a paw on it and get the whistle.
That's a good movement so far in the first 50 seconds of this power play for Princeton. Just have to get some more shots on net. We know Clarkson not afraid to block shots. All the guys that are working the penalty kill, Brett Gervais, Ben Dalpe, all the defensemen not afraid to sacrifice the body and get in front of a hard shot.
Here's Rich and Dalpe on the draw, pulled back by Robinson. Topatai at the point, he'll shuffle it over to Yoakum. Now right back to Derek Topatai, and Yoakum at the top of the umbrella, goes off the boards. Topatai back after it. He'll duck away from Dalpe. And at the top of the zone, here's Topatai to the far side. Now Rich at the dot, he'll go down low for Grande. Works back to the point, Topatai fakes a shot. He'll center himself in that high slot, drops it off. Here's Yoakum. Back to Topatai once more, 42 seconds left to go. Shot save made by Kylie. As the Knights can't clear the zone, it's kept alive. Alex Rich working it back for Yoakum and off to Rich again. Now Rich looking down low for a deflection, and it's cleared by the Golden Knights. 25 seconds left to go in the Marley Quince penalty. Both teams will make some line changes. It's carried forward by Jackson Cressy. He's going to gain the blue line to the near side for Hallisey. Back to the top of the zone. Here's Josh Tevis with a shot through traffic. Kylie turns it away. Here's Aaron Thoe with a chance to clear, and he'll send this one all the way down, where Josh Tevis will start it back up. Penalty clock just about to expire. We'll be back at 5-on-5 as Tevis gains the line with speed with a shot that goes off the glass. Here's Rempel able to scoop it back to the neutral zone as we're back at 5-on-5. 14:20 left to go in this second period of play. 2-1 is the score in favor of Clarkson. He's a shot by Kuffner that goes wide. Sheldon Rempel bring it right back the other way. Here's Rempel pushing it forward, but turning it over. Back the other way comes Princeton. Here's Ryan Kuffner trying to center it for Hallis. He comes back forward. Tevis holding. He'll work his way behind the net. Kuffner with a shot that goes off the goalpost and off of Kylie. Back to the corner. Aaron Tho is going to try to settle it down. He'll work it back for Nico Sturm. Now here's Sturm advancing it for Sheldon Rempel, and back to Sturm. He'll gain the blue line. Now Sturm drops it for Rempel, trying to get away from Nelson. He'll work his way back towards the point, dropping it up for Greg Morrow with a shot. That's blocked. Rebound will be corralled by Verano and cleared back to center ice. Morrow's going to angle it forward for Brasseau. Poked at by Sturm, but recovered by Grande. Able to connect with Becker. Stood up by Morrow right at the blue line. As a board battle will ensue. Came loose for a moment. Now here's Grande with it in the high slot. Looked to drop it back to Grabowski. Couldn't get there in time to keep it in the zone, as they'll just fire it right back in. Delayed offside on Princeton. They'll have to tag up. Astron pokes it forward. Now he's Josh Dickinson, who's going to carry through the neutral zone. Dickinson looking for Sherazin. Went right through his legs, but able to corral it now in the corner. Here's Sherazin, bodied off the puck nicely by Germain. Comes back to the far point. And Summers finding Amorosa. He'll center himself with a shot through traffic. That goes wide. Back behind the net, here's Jack Jacome. Working his way back towards the point. His pass is off the mark. The Knights will have to backtrack from their own zone. Here's Jack Jacome, gaining the blue line and in. Drops it off for Dickinson with a shot, and he scores! Jacome able to gain the zone, drops it back for Dickinson, who rifles it past Ryan Ferland and Clarkson with their biggest lead of the evening. It's 3-1.
And Josh Dickinson with his 14th of the season, 24 points so far, and Jacome getting his 20th assist with 26 points on the season. The two of them been working in sync. Mentioned before, both of them coming from the Georgetown Raiders last year. So having some chemistry already and adding Kevin Shares into that line, helping the two of them out.
Here's Quince battling, goes back behind the net. Here's Brett Gervais for the Golden Knights, looking to work it back to the slot. Here's Quince over for Tho with a shot that's blocked off the far side boards. Princeton will look to clear. They'll go back for Joey Fallon, tapping off the boards for Paganelli. He has some time and space. He'll skate it himself right at center ice, turning it over. Here's Brett Gervais, angling it forward for Dalpe as they battle on the near side boards. Fishing away at it is Marley Quince as he's pinned by Keenan. Finally comes back for Jerry Astron. He'll find Gervais now to the near side. Dalpe's going to fire this one in. Wrapping around to the far side boards. Quince in pursuit for the Golden Knights as they make line changes. Quince with it behind the goal line. He is muscled off the puck nicely by Topatai. As Purag will drive into the corner, trying to pull this one loose. Princeton's going to start the breakout. Here's Hallisey tapping it forward off the boards, trying to get past Aaron Tho, driving in on it. He'll spin it back to the point. Here's Cressy to the near side. One-timer just, oh, apparently it goes in. It went off a body. Looked like it was going wide. It was deflected in front. Eric Robinson is going to get the marker here, the co-captain for Princeton. And again, it looked like that one was going wide of the net. It just goes inside that far post, beats Kylie, and now it's a 3-2 game.
And Princeton not letting off the gas despite being down by 2. Keep chugging forward and able to get one, get back within 1, and definitely not out of this game yet.
Absolutely not. Princeton, they've played pretty solid so far. I love those top 2 scoring lines. They make me nervous every time they're on the ice. And that second line with Robinson getting the goal. And then all of a sudden they're right back in it, just trailing by 1. Here's Amorosa in his own zone, trying to get away from a couple of forecheckers. He'll push it forward for Eagle. Can't get much going there. It's sent right back in. Off the end boards to be collected by Amorosa. He takes a hit from Cressy. Here's Summers turning it over in front. Verono trying to get a shot off, and it's going to be cleared by Summers. Right back after it is Matt Nelson. So spin this one off the end boards. Here's Alex Rich dropping it for Grabowski with a shot. And that's going to be saved by Kylie and goes out of play. 10:38 remains in this second period of play. A couple more goals in this second period. It's now 3-2. Golden Knights on top. as they'll be tasked with a defensive zone draw to the glove side of Jake Kiley. Be Alex Rich and Nico Sturm facing off, as the Golden Knights will bring out Aaron Tho and Greg Morrow on defense. Off the face-off, here's Aaron Tho behind the goal line. He'll connect with Sheldon Rempel. Saucer pass forward for Brasseau, able to push it forward. As he'll circle back at the blue line, looking for Rempel. And Rempel with a shot. That'll be saved by Ferland, who hangs on for the whistle. Again, some more pushing and shoving behind the net following the whistle, as the referees will get involved. Only two players really not involved in it all are the two Clarkson defensemen, as temper's starting to flare here in this second period of play.
I imagine they're down there. Princeton's just trying to figure out where they can grab some lunch in the area tomorrow before heading off to St. Lawrence right down the road for their game. Oh, of course, friendly conversation down there.
Absolutely, keeping it PG for the kids, of course. So after the friendly conversation, will be an offensive zone draw for the Golden Knights, as Clarkson will stick with the sophomore line for the face-off. Here's Sturm trying to pull it back for Rempel, as he'll battle in the corner, chopped at by Verano. Now carrying is Rich. He'll lift this one into Clarkson territory. Kuffner in pursuit in the corner. He's taken off the puck by Morrow. Here's Nico Sturm trying to get this one out of his own zone. Max Verano right back after it for Princeton. He'll gain the red line, trying to work his way in. He'll put it off the end boards. Kiley to play it. He'll leave it behind the net for Aaron Tho. Here's Sheldon Rempel on the far side. He'll start it up. Rempel with some fancy stick handling, however, loses it right at the blue line. He'll get another chance. He'll just swat it right back in and peel off on a line change. On the near side boards, here's Liam Grande for Princeton. He'll connect with Max Becker, who fires it in. Kiley comes out to play it once more, as he'll try to get back in net. Behind the goal line, Grande is going to find it again. Work back to Topatai. D-to-D pass for Yoakum, as he'll fire his shot. Kiley makes the glove save, and he'll hang on. And again, getting into it in front of the net, Max Becker pushing and shoving with a couple Clarkson defenders, as we'll have another ice crew break.
And we see so many times guys playing on their proper side, as in you'll have right-handed guys playing on the right side. The entire Clarkson women's teams like that, the likes of Elizabeth Giguere, Kelly Mariani on the right-hand side, and keeping the left-handed players on the left-hand side, but not quite the same on this men's squad, as Jack Jacome, one of the skilled players, playing on his offhand and able to get those cuts to the inside of the ice and get some shots off. And only him and Marley Quint really playing on their offside, as this is kind of a left-heavy team for this Golden Knights squad. Not too many right-handed guys, just Sheldon Rempel, Harold Eagle, Nick Purog, and Brett Gervais at forward. So not too much to fill in on the wing, and Jacome able to get things done so far on the season, playing on his offside.
On the face-off, it'll be Jeremy Germain and Josh Dickinson, as now Jacome's going to step in to take the draw. It's pulled back to the point with a shot, and Kiley's going to make the save. And we're seeing the importance of face-offs. Clarkson has not been doing a great job in the dot. They trail in the face-off department 21-12. Pardon me, I read it the wrong way. I'm reading face-off loss. Thank you, Brian. They are doing a nice job in the face-off dot. Forget what I just said. However, Jacome unable to win the draw. It's pulled back again. Dickinson can't win it. On the far side, here's Becker trying to spin it in on the backhand. Behind the net, it's Germain shielding the puck away from Astron. Around to the near side, here's Topatai with a shot that rockets wide. Back at the far point, it'll be kept alive by Yoakum, and it'll go up into the mesh and out of play.
And it sometimes seems as though the team you're rooting for not doing so hot in the dot. I see that frequently with myself and the girls team, not doing too hot on the face-offs, but then look at the stats and it's right about 50-50 or better. But got to win those crucial defensive zone draws. Jacome lost those last two, but able to get one in the neutral zone, and one of the better face-off men, Nico Sturm, going up against Eric Robinson as he comes off the wing.
On the far side, Cressy going at it with Sheldon Rempel. Referee will separate those two as we're still waiting to get this face-off underway. It's pulled back by Sturm, poked away by Amorosa. Advancing it into the corner is Cressy, as Nico Sturm will collect the loose change behind the net. He takes a hit from Robinson. D-to-D pass from Amorosa to Kelly Summers. He'll advance it through the neutral zone, scooped forward by Sturm, as he'll skate after it in the corner. Nico Sturm trying to put it out in front. It'll be Devin Brosseau taking over behind the goal line. Here's Brosseau. Will be taken over now by Sheldon Rempel on the far side. Work back to the right point. Summers across for Amorosa. Wheel it right back down low. First one there is Tevis for Princeton, as he'll try to connect now with Matthew Tom and start the breakout. Here's Tevis once more behind his own net. 8:15 left to go in the second period of play. Pass forward for Hallisey. He'll lift this one into Clarkson territory and make some line changes. However, this one is going to be blown dead on the whistle.
And on that last play, you could see Cressy move out to the wing after he got tossed from the faceoff dot, going at it with Sheldon Rempel. Rempel, not one of the biggest guys on this Clarkson squad, but then Kelly Summers making sure to lay down the law, get a nice clean hit on Cressy as he takes the puck into the zone, stick up for the guys on his team.
So here's Cressy and Dalpe in the dot. They tie up. Dalpe's going to play it down low for Marley Quince, trying to get away from Matthew Tom. Quince still with it, looking for Gervais. Wanted the one-timer pass. It was just off the mark. As Quince and Tom collide, here's Gervais with it behind the goal line once more. He is taken down into the boards as Princeton will turn it back the other way. Here's Eric Robinson gaining the Clarkson line. Robinson on the backhand, throws it right through the crease. Here's Marley Quince in the corner. He'll tap it back for Aaron Tho. On the near side, he'll start the breakout. Back pass for Greg Morrow. Tipping it over the line is Ben Dalpe. In pursuit is Matt Nelson for Princeton. Banging it off the boards for Paganelli, as Nelson will look to start the breakout. He takes a hit from Garreau. Turned over. Here's Pirog in the corner. He is taken down. Penalty call coming up as Matt Nelson will get the gate once Princeton touches up. Here's Garreau back to the point for a one-timer by Astrid, and a save made by Furland. Clarkson will return to the power play.
We saw them have success with their top unit, which looks like is going to be the unit coming out first to start this power play. And Rempel able to find one backdoor on the pass from Terrence Amorosa, and they'll get another opportunity here. 7:09 left in the second period, up 3-2 on Princeton, trying to extend their lead by 2.
So Sturm will take the draw for the Golden Knights as Jermaine gets tossed. Stepping in is Max Becker. Sturm pulls it back. Rempel can't control it. He'll find it once more. Works it back to the point for Terrence Amorosa. Cross for Summers and right back for Amorosa. Down low to Rempel. Works it right back to Amorosa and over to Summers. Fakes a shot. Work down low for Brosseau at the left point. Amorosa, again a fake shot. He'll come back for Rempel, working his way to the point. He'll drop it off for Amorosa in the high slot. Doesn't shoot, back to Rempel. Another fake shot. Here's Summers stepping up and firing. That one finds the glass, goes right up on top of the net, and that will draw the whistle. Again, more pushing and shoving in front of the net as Max Becker hits the deck.
It looked like that was the linesman that just kind of stuck his arm out and knocked him off balance, but not too happy about that one is Becker, thinking it was one of the Clarkson guys.
And Devin Brosseau always in the thick of it for the Golden Knights. A very skilled player, but also a very feisty player as well. We'll see a couple offsetting minors as the result of that skirmish. Max Becker and Nico Sturm will come off. So Clarkson will still be on the power play, but without the services of Nico Sturm, and likewise for Princeton, Max Becker will now be in the box, one of the penalty killers for Princeton, as he will now be unavailable. So Clarkson will bring out the second unit following the offsetting minors. Minute 29 left to go in the original penalty to Matt Nelson. And it appears we're going to have 5-on-4 versus some 4-on-3, with those two penalties being offsetting.
And 4-on-3 would give a lot more room out on the ice for both teams to work. A little more room in the offensive zone, but some more opportunities if Princeton's able to get things going, but it'll stay 5-on-4 as Dickinson lines up with Jackson Cressy.
So Dickinson and Cressy on the face-off. Cressy pulls it back behind the goal line. Here's Grabowski in the corner. Dickinson drives in there. Cressy finds the loose puck. He'll advance it for Hallisey, gaining the Clarkson line. Hallisey working his way into the high slot. Turned over. Dickinson will carry back the other way. He'll tap the brakes, trying to pull it through Hallisey. Turned over as Hallisey, realizing he's not going to get a nice chance on net, he'll circle back in favor of just taking some time off the clock. Here's Karjalainen back to start it up for the Golden Knights. He'll find Harald's Eagle. Now Kevin Sherzin will carry, gaining the line, now driving in behind the net. He'll scoop it for Dickinson, work back to the left point for Karjalainen, just off the mark, intercepted by Germain, trying to get a shot that's kicked away by Kiley. As Jack Jacome will settle it down for the Golden Knights. He'll drop it back behind the net, looking for Karjalainen. 35 seconds left to go in the Clarkson power play, as they'll make some more line changes, bring the top unit right back out. Verano on the forecheck. Summers will try to get away from him. Will drop it for Sheldon Rempel, looking for Karjalainen, who was not ready for the pass, turned over and sent right back down by Princeton. Here's Devin Brosseau, dropping it for Sheldon Rempel through the neutral zone with some stick work at the blue line. He'll spin it right back behind the net. Here's Brosseau going to the ice. It comes back to the point. Summers can't keep it in, and that's going to do it for the Clarkson power play. A real strong kill by Princeton. Clarkson really couldn't get much going. Here's Sheldon Rempel through the neutral zone. He'll carry in over the line, tapping it past Tevis. Quince in pursuit, trying to get this one in the corner. As it goes up in the air, it's going to go all the way down into Clarkson territory and will be far enough for an icing against Princeton.
And the penalties, the offsetting penalties on Becker and Sturm, still holding as the two of them still in the box. Not on the scoreboard at the moment, but they will likely be coming out shortly, and depending on the time, likely the next stoppage, and the two teams will get their services back.
Here's Sherzin trying to cut out in front. That's turned away by Tevis. They battle behind the goal line. Josh Tevis will corral the loose puck, puts it off the glass. Back after the bouncing puck is Morrow, settling it down. He'll angle it forward for Jack Jacome. Here's Jacome in the high slot with a couple of moves, looking for some options. Fire right through the goal crease. Here's Tho, working it down low for Dickinson, just too far for him. Lost control as Tom will look to clear. Here's Cressy, able to advance it for an opportunity on the backhand, and they score. Eric Robinson tucks it 5-hole on Kiley, and we are back to a tie game. We're all even at 3.
Yep, and Sturm and Becker coming out of the box, but there's a penalty on the call. I believe there was a hook on Robinson as he got into the offensive zone, and with the rules in college hockey, if there is a penalty and a goal is scored on the delayed call, the penalty still stands, so Clarkson is going to be shorthanded, and Princeton getting some momentum back, scoring 2 goals in a row, and still 4:14 left in the second period, and they're going to have an opportunity to keep things rolling here before the end of the period as Jacome goes off for the hook and Princeton to the power play.
Yeah, and it's just some more sloppy play by the Golden Knights. That's exactly what they need to avoid heading into the postseason, and they're paying the price today as they've had a couple of nice goals, but they've allowed a couple as well on some turnovers and some undisciplined play. So Clarkson on the penalty kill. Here's Gervais poking it forward. Tevis will have to backtrack in his own zone. 1:35 left to go in the penalty to Jack Jacome, as Max Verano will start the rush, trying to slide it through the legs of Garreau. That would not go, as Tevis will try again from his own zone. Advancing it now for Verano, gaining the line, pushed over to the near side for Hallisey. He'll look for Verano in the corner. He's met by Kelly Summers, who's going to send this one down the ice. Behind the net, Tevis will settle it down as both teams make line changes. 1 minute left to go in the Jacome penalty and 3:10 in this second period of play. Here comes Eric Robinson gaining the line, looking to complete the hat trick. Working it back to the left point. Back to the near side, it's Topatai. Plays it D to D for Yoakum. Stepping up now is Alex Rich with a shot that goes off the side of the net. Here's Rich behind the goal line for Grande. Back to the point, it's Yoakum. Finding Rich once more, and back to the point for Yoakum at the high slot. Yoakum back for Rich with a chance to clear is Sturm, and he'll send it down once more. Out to play it is Ryan Furland. He'll find Derek Topatai with 20 seconds left to go in this power play opportunity. Here's a pass through the neutral zone off the stick of Kuffner, and Clarkson will have another clear. And that's just going to do it for this power play as 8 seconds remain. Princeton can try to get another rush going as that is disrupted by Garreau, able to send it out of play, breaking up the rush.
And sent that in between the two penalty boxes where they've got the replay machine, and a bunch of people crammed into that small space, and looks like they're all okay down there. No injury resulting from that tipped puck.
Gervais whacks it forward off the face-off. Here's Grabowski, D to D for Matt Nelson as we return to 5-on-5. Grabowski past center ice, able to connect with Kuffner. However, Jacome able to scoop it away from him. Stepping up is Summers. It's worked behind the goal line. Here's Rich looking out in front for Verano, and a fast break chance for the Golden Knights. Possible 2-on-1. Here's Jack Jacome looking for Gervais, and he can't get the shot off. Had to play the puck with the skate. Trickled right on net and turned away by Furland. Drop pass now for Kuffner with a shot and a glove save made by Jake Kiley, who's going to hang on.
And some good back and forth play as Kuffner able to snag one off of that rebound from Furland on the other end and get that stretch pass and just kind of fling one on net. A good shot on Kiley, but not too much traffic in front, so a routine save for him.
1:44 left in this second period. Clarkson wins the draw courtesy of Josh Dickinson. On the near side, Keenan throws it right out in front, and a shot just goes over the net. Joey Fallon let it go as this one's pushed forward for Sherazin, able to tap it past Tevis. Here's Kevin Sherazin looking back to the point for Jacome. Stepping up with a shot. That is turned away. Another chance for Sherazin. Couldn't get a shot off. Here's Jack Jacome working his way out from the corner with a shot that goes right on net, and Ryan Furland able to make the save. Again, some pushing and shoving behind the net. Josh Dickinson in the thick of it, going at it with Jake Paganelli, as those two will be separated. Just 1:17 left to go in this second period. We've seen a lot of this physicality and aggression in the second period, as we'll see a couple more offsetting minors following another skirmish.
And it'll be Dickinson and Paganelli going off, and will likely skate 5 aside based on how the last offsetting calls went. And it'll be Rempel and Sturm out there, and Summers and Brousseau. So we'll have 4 aside for the next 2 minutes, and 1:17 left in the period, so a short period of time in the third period, 4-on-4 hockey as well.
An offensive zone draw for the Golden Knights. Rempel against Cressy. Those two tie up. Here's Sturm able to push it loose in the corner. circling away. He'll try to find some open space. He gets rocked by Tom. Here's Sheldon Rempel working his way back to the right point, trying to get away from Tevis. He'll try again, working down low. He hits the deck. Tevis will come away with the puck as he battles with Sturm. Hallistey's going to come right back the other way for Princeton. Gaining the red line now into Clarkson territory. Dodges a big check from Kelly Summers, looking to line him up. Here's Amorosa on the far side. He'll start the rush. Able to gain the blue line now, tapping the brakes, but in the process, the Knights going offside. So with this 4-on-4 hockey, players like Sheldon Rempel really can excel, but he is met by a similarly skilled opponent in Josh Tevis, who is a very mobile, offensive-minded defenseman, however, very smart in the defensive zone, and Rempel starting to realize he really can't outmatch him with his speed alone.
And we know Rempel has a good shot, so maybe the answer for him is just try and sneak one past Furland on the other end, not get too fancy with his speed and hands, but just kind of throw a couple on net, see if someone's down low.
Here's Brosseau battling in the corner, taking down Yoakum. As it comes loose, here's Brosseau trying to get a shot off. Couldn't get it to go as Yoakum is slow to get to his feet. He's going to peel off to the bench. Just under 20 seconds left to go in the period. Here's Topatai at center ice. He'll drop it off for Ryan Kuffner. Able to work his way in over the Clarkson line. Now Kuffner driving in at the faceoff dot. He'll find Verano on the near side, battling with Aaron Tho. Comes loose for Brosseau. He'll drop it back into the corner for Aaron Tho. And the buzzer will sound to end this second period of play, as this one has turned into a very offensive game. Lots of offense here at Shield Arena today. A 10-1 victory for the Clarkson women's team, and now a 3-3 tie here between the Clarkson men's team against Princeton. 4 goals in the second period of play. We'll take a quick break and get you a recap of those 4 goals with our second intermission report. Stick with us here on WCKN. Welcome back to Cheel Arena for our second intermission report. The score is now 3-3 here between Clarkson and Princeton after a 4-goal second period. Before we get into it, just a quick reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at WCKN_hockey, and we have started to use a YouTube live stream that gives us a nicer quality than the link that's on the Clarkson Athletics page. So you can find that, just go to youtube.com and just search WCKN television and you can find that stream, and it typically is a nicer quality where you can watch it there. So Brian, let's dissect this second period. 2 goals for either team. We went from a 1-1 tie to a 3-3 tie. Clarkson had their biggest lead of the evening at 3-1, but then Eric Robinson just took over. A nice opportune shot went in the back of the net, and then a breakaway off a Clarkson turnover makes it 3-3. We've talked a lot about this top 6 of Princeton, and Eric Robinson just doing everything right in that second period, and he ties this one up for Princeton.
Yeah, and these kind of mistakes have been haunting the Golden Knights over their last 10 games, only, I believe, 1, 5, and 4 over that stretch, and not had too much success since coming back from the break. I want to say they won 3 prior to going on this little 10-game stretch of not much success, but they've really got to get back to the basics. And you can't be given a player like Eric Robinson that much time and room and allow him to get a breakaway. They've got to be a little more disciplined, but taking some penalties. I think that one on that Robinson breakaway, Jacome with a hook, that was kind of a desperation play to try and save a goal. Didn't save the goal. Princeton able to go on the power play after that with the NCAA rules. Luckily, Clarkson able to kill that one off and prevent Princeton from going up 4-1 late in the second period. But then again, some offsetting minors for Dickinson and Paganelli. There'll be 43 seconds left in the third period, but really just got to have some better discipline and focus a little more on the defensive end of the puck and really try and stop these top 6 forwards for Princeton, as we have seen that they can score, especially Eric Robinson having himself a night tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This Clarkson defense capable of shutting down opposing offenses. That top pair of Amorosa and Summers, one of the top two-way pairs in the nation. They lead the ECAC in defensive points. Summers on top of Amorosa in that 1 and 2 spot. And Tho and Morrow, typically a fairly reliable pair to match up with some second-tier units up front. They're typically relied on for more of those defensive zone starts than the third pair of Karjalainen and Astrin, which tend to be a little bit more offensive biased. But again, discipline is going to be huge for Clarkson, as we saw both teams getting more and more physical in that second period. Tempers starting to flare, and it's going to be all about controlling those tempers, because it's very easy to get undisciplined against a team that's really starting to get under your skin. And you got to get back to basics. You got to focus on the scoreboard. It's a tie game. All you got to do is win this third period, and you can come away with a victory. And again, for Clarkson, they got to get back on track after a bunch of games in a row where, they haven't played up to their potential. We've seen what they're capable of on that 14-game winning streak. They're able to take down teams like Princeton. They have the skill to do it. It's just a matter of if they can play a solid period to round this out, focus on getting the offense going, playing solid defensively, and just don't take any of those dumb penalties.
Yeah, and you hear about it in just about every interview you see in an NHL game, or really any level, about making sure to play the full 60 minutes, and it still applies here as 20 more minutes to go. And they're really able to finish off this team. We saw them get a big lead. We saw them score within the first minute of the second period. So definitely a team that's capable of coming back and winning this game, but they're just going to have to make sure they keep the foot on the pedal and not take penalties and stay out of the box. If they can draw a couple, get some power plays. They've had some success on the power play. That last one that they had on the power play, so it'd be good to see some special teams out of them tonight.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I would be telling the troops if I were Casey Jones. Just stay out of the penalty box. Good things are going to happen. You know, you played a solid game so far. There's just a couple things here and there you need to tidy up if we're going to come away with the victory. So Clarkson, Princeton will head into the third period tied at 3 apiece. We'll have coverage in just about 2 minutes for puck drop. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the start of the third here on WCKN. Welcome back to Cheel Arena for the start of the third period of play here between Clarkson and Princeton. It's a 3-3 tie as we head off the final period of play. We'll take you around the ECAC before we get started. Down the road in Canton, or pardon me, it's at Brown University, a 4-2 lead as Brown on top of Harvard in the third period. At the start of the third, St. Lawrence with a 2-1 lead on top of Quinnipiac. At the end of the second period, Union 1-0 on top of Colgate, and then a lopsided score, Dartmouth 6-2 on top of Yale at the start of the third. Rounding it out is Cornell with a 2-1 lead on top of RPI at the end of the second. So Kevin Carlin and Brian Warner with you tonight on the call. Face-off will be at center ice, as this is going to be 4-on-4 hockey to start it off for 43 seconds. It's David Hallisey and Nick Pirog on the dot. Puck is dropped. We'll start off the third period of play. Here's Terrence Amorosa. He'll duck right back for Jack Jacome behind his own net. Connecting with Summers. A spinner around the boards for Jack Jacome. Through the neutral zone, loses possession for a moment, picks it right back up. Back to Amorosa with a drive. And a nice save made by Ryan Furland, who's going to cover up. So a nice quick shot for the Golden Knights. Amorosa steps up from the point and lets it rip. But Furland able to oppose him quite nicely. Going to make his save here early in this third period of play. Defensive zone draw for Jackson Cressy. Pulls it into the slot, scooped away nicely by Furland. Here's Tevis. He'll drop it off behind the net, looking for Tom. Matthew Tom started up, connecting with Tevis. He'll duck away from Nick Pirog, able to connect now with Eric Robinson, looking for his hat-trick goal. Has 2 already, as Tevis gonna play it down low. Broken up by the Golden Knights, and they'll turn right back the other way. Here's Pirog, advancing it for Amorosa, drops it back for Pirog with a shot, save made by Furland. On the near side, Robinson is going to connect in over the line as Princeton will fire this one in. Here's Kelly Summers. He'll flip it back to center ice. Back after it is Grabowski, as he'll angle it forward for Rich. Goes up in the air, glove down by Sturm. So he'll drop it right back for Kelly Summers. Chipped forward for Nico Sturm. He'll connect with Rempel. Rempel in the high slot. He'll slide it over for Tho with a shot that is blocked by Kuffner. Back behind the goal line, Aaron Tho will knock it to the near side for Devin Brosseau. As he tries to get this one out in front, his Brosseau can't get a shot off. Turning it over, Verano will bring it right back the other way. Passes off the mark for Kuffner. Goes too far for him behind the net. Greg Morrow gets there first, turned over, shot in front. Kiley makes the save, another chance turned away by Jake Kiley. Back to the neutral zone it goes. Matt Nelson will angle it forward for Ryan Kuffner. He'll spin this one in off the end boards. Kiley to play it. He'll leave it for Aaron Tho. On the far side boards, just too far for Ben Dalpe. He'll be brought right back in by Topatai. Kiley to play it once more. He'll knock down the bouncing puck. Here's Grande. Scoops it back to the point for Yoakum. Can't keep it in. It goes down the ice. Hustling after it is Gervais as he'll push Yoakum off the puck. It goes up in the air, knocked down by Dalpe. To the near side boards. Astron's going to step up from the point. Here's Jerry Astron with a shot that's blockered away. Goes way up in the air as it drops down behind the goal line. In the corner, coming away with it was Marley Quince. This is going to be blown dead on the whistle.
It's going to be Ben Dalpe headed to the box. Not too sure what the call is just yet.
Brett Gervais having a conversation at center ice. One of the leaders for this Clarkson team. Dalpe, one of the penalty killers. He will be unavailable for the kill as he's the one in the box. So it'll be a defensive zone draw for the Golden Knights. Princeton back on the power play. Cressy pulls it back at the point. Here's Verano looking to work it down low. At the dot, now behind the goal line. Cycle game going for Princeton. Verano at the right point. He'll play it down low. Chance in front, blocked by Amorosa as Halsey let it go. Back behind the goal line, here's Max Verano. Pressured by Summers. He'll drop it off for Halsey. Worked back to the point. Here's Kuffner down low for Verano, trying to center it for Halsey. Broken up by the Golden Knights and sent down the ice. Ferland to play it. He'll leave it for Josh Tevis. Here comes Tevis through the neutral zone, dropping it off in favor of Verano. Gaining the line, looking for Kuffner. Verano with it once more on the near side. He'll work it back for Cressy. Dropping it off for Tevis at the top of the circle. Right back for Tevis with a one-timer. That's blocked by Jack Jacome. Back at the point, here's Tevis again, looking down low for Verano. Backdoor pass just goes wide as Kuffner tried to bang it home. He's taken to the boards by Tho. Spun right back around to the near side. Tevis will collect at the point. Trying to tip it past Jack Jacome. Tevis still with it at the point. He'll angle it for Kuffner. 44 seconds left to go in the power play. Here's Halsey behind the goal line, looking for options. Halsey still holding back to the point. A one-timer by Kuffner is blocked. Another chance is blocked again. Opportunity in front for Cressy is nudged away by Jacome and sent down the ice.
And Brett Gervais able to block one with what looked like the face mask of his helmet or right up around the neck region. That one likely going to leave a mark come tomorrow.
But Gervais, a veteran leader who puts the body on the line, able to block the shot, and that's just about going to do it for this Princeton power play. 5 seconds left to go. We'll try to get another rush as Robinson slides to the near side for Yoakum. Stood up at the blue line. We're back to 5-on-5 as Derek Topatai is going to whip this one in. Back after it is Amorosa. He'll find Kelly Summers. Now advancing it for Devin Brosseau. Pass center ice in over the line. Loses possession. It'll be poked at by Ferland in the corner. Here's Topatai battling with Pirog. He'll get it forward for Grande as he'll hit the gas through the neutral zone. Here's Grande gaining the Clarkson line. He'll flip it into the corner. Liam Grande met by Karjalainen. Linemates making changes as Karjalainen will rough Grande up on the far side boards. Worked back behind the net for Jerry Astron. Now finding Sheldon Rempel through the neutral zone. Here's Brosseau trying to get past Matt Nelson. He takes a hard hit. Karjalainen in pursuit behind the net. Goes up in the air. Gloved down by Grabowski behind the net. Captain Grabowski will try to get away from Sturm. Nelson will push around to the far side. Here's Max Becker. Able to get it forward for Germain and clear the zone. Gaining the Clarkson blue line is Max Becker with a shot turned away by Kiley. Worked back to the point. Grabowski can't handle it. Comes right back to center ice. Collecting now is Karjalainen as Brosseau will peel off to the bench. Here's Jerry Astrin. Pass forward for Sturm, just gets a piece of it. It's going to come right back for Karjalainen. Spun forward, hops over the stick of Sherizin. Here's a D-to-D pass for Matthew Tom. Up to center ice off the stick of Fallon. A nice hit by Greg Morrow, as that's going to be blown dead after the big hit by Greg Morrow stepping up at the blue line.
We don't see that too often anymore. Really, the hits come more so from Summers and Morrow, I would say, than many of the other defensemen. All big bodies, but most of them try and play a better positional game, but two of them not afraid to step up and lay some hits from time to time.
And Morrow's got the biggest frame of them all, standing at 6'4", 207 pounds. As Clarkson's going to try to start the breakout, here's Jack Jacome on the near side, battling with Ryan Kuffner. It's pushed forward and up on the line by Rich. And at the top of the zone with a shot and a second chance opportunity, turned away by Kiley. Goes right through the crease. Stepping up from the point is Tevis, as he'll find Kuffner. Work back to the point, Rich. Dropping it off for Kuffner. Holding at the top of the circle. He'll work it back to the point. Just comes out over the blue line. And that's going to be offside against Princeton. 13:23 left to go in this third period of play. The shot totals are even, as are the goal totals, 3-3, and the shots 23 apiece. As both teams looking for the go-ahead goal off the face-off. Here's Brett Gervais for the Golden Knights. They'll work it back for Summers. Across for Amorosa, lifted forward, hops over the stick of Cressy. Poked at by Quince. It's going to come right back the other way. Jackson Cressy gaining the Clarkson line. It trickles loose now, corralled by Amorosa off a stick. They're going to battle on the near side. Here's Quince hitting the deck. Dalpe gets involved as well, as Quince pinning this one up against the boards. Digging away at it is Jackson Cressy. Comes back behind the net for Kelly Summers, as they'll find Brett Gervais up off the boards looking for Quince. Broken up nicely by Derek Topatai, as he'll settle it down for Tevis behind his own net. Clarkson finishing up line changes as Tevis takes his time from behind his own goal line. Able to find Robinson, can't handle it. Goes to the far side for Quince as he muscles his man. Comes back for Garreau, slides it forward, right back the other way comes Topatai. His pass goes down the ice, back to the goal line. Kiley will leave it for Jerry Astrin. Here's Astrin skating this one himself. He'll gain the blue line and in, hitting the brakes. Astrin with a shot right on net. Ferland makes the save.
We can see Astrin not afraid to fire the puck as well. Most all these defensemen, good two-way players and making good work in the offensive zone. Astrin listed as a freshman, but he did redshirt and was here last year, practiced with the team. So he's gotten to know the guys and gotten to know the program.
There's a shot by Garreau, nearly fooled Ferland as it changed direction in front. Be flipped in over the line by Liam Grande. Back after it is Karjalainen off to the far side. Garreau will look to clear. He'll find Eagle with some speed. It's turned away nicely by Jeremy Germain, and the Golden Knights are offside.
And Astrin's confidence showing. He's played 26 of the team's 32 games. Again, a freshman, but was here last year, and definitely one of those guys that they're going to look to lean on next year, as they're going to be losing Amorosa and Summers, their top pair, back on the blue line.
And Astrin was recruited by some other schools, Wisconsin being a big one. Clarkson able to land him, and he's been a great addition to this blue line, able to drive some offense and being sound in his own zone as well. Here's Nico Sturm on the rush. He'll toss it to the far side. Stepping up from the point is Aaron Tho. We'll put it off the glass. Here's Nelson dropping it off behind the net for Grabowski. Off the far side, Ryan Kuffner. He'll connect with Nelson, advance to Verano, puts it through the legs of Morrow and off the end boards. Here's Aaron Tho looking for Brosseau. Now Clarkson will bring it back the other way. Here's Rempel gaining the line. Here's Rempel, toe drag, and he is bodied off the puck. Penalty call coming up against Princeton. Couple Golden Knights having Some words here for Princeton. Max Verano in the thick of it behind the net. It was Matthew Tom who laid that hit on Rempel, and he will head off to the penalty box. Clarkson will be on the power play. So Rempel got the first goal of the game for the Golden Knights on the power play. He'll look to add another as Clarkson's going to start with the second unit with Sherazin, Dickinson, and Jacome up front. Eagle and Karjalainen back at the point as Princeton will bring out their personnel for the penalty kill. Josh Tevis on the back end for Princeton. It'll be Jeremy Germain taking the draw against Josh Dickinson.
This is what we talked about during intermission. Clarkson staying out of the box so far in the first 9 minutes of the game and able to get on the power play here as Tom goes off for roughing and going to recoil in their own zone and see what they can get going here.
Topatai with the clear. Clarkson will now look to respond. Tapped right on net, pushed aside and onto the near side boards. Sent down the ice once more by Princeton. Goes just wide of the net. Kylo will come out to play it. And he'll knock it down and leave it for Karjalainen. Here's Teko Karjalainen from his own zone. He'll find Sherazin. Over the near side, Eagle will throw it right out in front. Nudged away by Topatai. They battle behind the net. Here's Kevin Sherazin. He'll scoop it back to the point for Harold's Eagle. At the top of the zone, Karjalainen fakes the shot. Slides it over for Eagle. Centering himself. He'll go over for Jacome. Now right back to Karjalainen. Again, fake shot looking for Eagle. Back to Karjalainen at the top of the zone. He'll shift it over for Jack Jacome. Over to the far side, it's Eagle. Another fake shot over to Jacome at the top of the circle. He'll drop it off for Eagle. 55 seconds left in the power play. Chance for Dickinson trying to jam home the rebound. They all get involved. A pile of bodies in the crease. That's going to draw the whistle. Ryan Furland able to keep that one out of the back of the net with some help from several different defenders.
And Josh Dickinson looked to land right on Ryan Furland, but dropped on him by Furland's own teammate. But a heap of bodies there, and everyone gets up and skates away. And Clarkson will get their top unit with Rempel, Sturm, and Brousseau, and Summers and Amorosa out there for the last 50 seconds of this power play.
On the face-off, Sturm pulls it back. Summers over for Amorosa with a shot, and Furland makes the glove save. So Sturm doing a nice job on the face-off dot. I believe coming into the weekend had the highest face-off percentage in the nation, if my memory does serve correct. Regardless, Sturm does a very nice job in the dot. He'll take another face-off here for the Golden Knights. So they'll stick with the top unit. As Sturm is tied up, it's pulled back for Grabowski behind the net. Brousseau will collect, working it back to Summers, over to Amorosa, looking for Rempel. Worked back to Terrence Amorosa once more. The top of the zone, Summers. Down low for Rempel, misplayed it. He'll work it right back to the point. Amorosa over to Summers. Will switch sides with Amorosa. Looking down low at the dot for Rempel. He'll shuffle back to the point. Saucer past Amorosa and right back to Sheldon Rempel. Now Rempel with a shot that goes off the post. Right back to the point. Here's Kelly Summers. To the near side, it's Rempel. Looking back for Summers with a shot that's blocked. I believe one off of Nico Sturm. On the near side, battling with Cressy as we're about to return to 5-on-5. Here's Amorosa at the top of the zone with a shot that goes wide. Another chance by Rempel, turning and firing. That's turned aside by Furlan as we're back at 5-on-5. Tipped forward by Summers and kept in the zone. Here's Rempel at the dot. He'll work his way back towards the point. Saucer pass across for Brousseau, trying to drag it past Nelson. Another chance for Brousseau, and he fans on the shot. Lifted back to the neutral zone, gloved down by Morrow, and tapped forward for Sheldon Rempel. Clarkson going to start to make line changes. Princeton will look to do the same following that strong Clarkson power play. However, Furland and the rest of Princeton standing tall, able to keep this one a tie game. Here's Max Verano driving into the line. He'll drop it off for Kuffner, looking for the return pass. There was Verano, hopped over his blade. As Rich will keep it alive at the point, goes back behind the goal line. Aaron Tho will collect for the Golden Knights to the near side. Here comes Eagle. Gains the red line. Now into Princeton territory. Eagle in the corner. Puts off the side of the net. Here's Pirog in the corner. As he is muscled by the defender, Topatai. Work back to the high slot. Garreau with a shot that's turned aside by Furland. In the corner. Pirog trying to pull it loose. Here's Yoakum on the far side. A shot by Tho is turned aside at the point. Morrow can't keep it in the zone. Kuffner nearly able to force a turnover. Here's Ryan Kuffner driving in on net. Penalty call coming up here against Greg Morrow. Taking down Ryan Kuffner as he was looking for the fast break opportunity. It was Kuffner who opened the scoring back in the first period of play on the power play. And he'll draw a penalty call against Greg Morrow. So Princeton will be right back on the power play.
And Morrow will sit for two for the official call tripping. And there are some fans down below us that don't necessarily agree with it, but that will not change the outcome of the ensuing 2 minutes of play, as Clarkson will hope to kill off this penalty and get back to even strength with just around 6 minutes left in the period.
We mentioned a couple minutes ago the shots were even at 23. That is not the case anymore. Clarkson with an additional 7 shots, where Princeton hasn't added any since then. So now it's 30-23 in favor of the Golden Knights. They really turned it on the last couple minutes. But this Princeton team's done a nice job defensively, able to keep the Golden Knights from putting anything in the back of the net. Now they'll have a chance on the power play. They've had a couple strong power plays and the goal back in the first period. They'll look for the go-ahead goal here on the power play. It'll be Jackson Cressy facing off against Brett Gervais. So those two tie up. It's pulled back by Cressy and sent down the ice by the Golden Knights. A foot race now between Sturm and Kuffner. And Sturm gets there in the corner, trying to pull this one loose. Here's Sturm trying to pull it out in front for Gervais with a one-timer. That's blockered away by Furland. Here's Kuffner dropping it back. He'll take a return pass. Ryan Kuffner slides it in over the line. As Amorosa trying to show he's not guilty of taking down Kuffner. Here's a pass down the ice looking for Garreau. Nearly finding it was Garreau. He'll work in the corner on Tevis. Here's Garreau behind the net, looking out in front, trying to wrap that one on net. Goes wide. Here's Jack Jacome from behind the goal line. He'll spin it right back down low, taking some time off the penalty clock. Here's Verano finding Cressy, who looks to start the breakout. Eric Robinson able to gain the Clarkson line, but offside is going to be the call against Princeton.
And Garreau out there doing exactly what his team needed to do right now after Morrow taking that penalty, and able to work down in the offensive zone and cycle the puck around and kill off a decent amount of time from this penalty and keep Princeton out of the offensive zone and prevent them from getting any quality scoring chances.
Just under a minute left to go in this Princeton power play. Here's Alex Rich. He'll gain the Clarkson line, now tapping the brakes. He'll look for some options, being pressured right at the point. Straddling the blue line was Rich, and Clarkson able to force Princeton back to the neutral zone. They'll recoil from their own end of play. Here's Topatai finding Eric Robinson. So he'll gain the Clarkson line once more. He'll spin it around the boards, looking to the far side for Grande. Spins away from one. Here's Grande. One-timer for Rich. And that's kicked aside by Kiley. Down the ice, back to the neutral zone. Topatai will start it right back up. 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Here's Verano gaining the line. He's pressured by Gervais and Summers. Here's Tho with a chance to clear. He'll put it on the far side. Played right back down low. Tho with some time. He'll lift this one down the ice. It goes all the way down. Furland out to play it. And that's going to do it for this Princeton power play. As Tevis will start it right back up, dropping it for Grabowski. Gaining the Clarkson line. Here's a shot by Grabowski. Goes off Karjalainen and wide of the net. Brousseau will tap it forward, knocked down by Rempel, and advance for Nico Sturm. Here's Sturm driving it on the backhand, trying to put it out in front. That was blocked by Tevis. As Kuffner will advance it for Verano. Now Tevis will put it off the end boards behind the Clarkson net. Tevis still in pursuit. as Verano will gather it in the corner. He's pinned by Nico Sturm. It comes loose for Karjalainen. Kuffner will circle with it, trying to get it down low for Verano. Back to Kuffner, goes right through his feet as Clarkson will break out of their own zone. Pass intended for Brasseau, too far for him. Going right back the other way is Princeton, lifted in by Jeremy Germain. Just under 5 minutes left to go in this third period of play. Here's a pass forward for Brasseau. He'll hammer this one in. Here's Pirog in pursuit. He'll get this one away from Nelson. Tapping it right back behind the goal line. Garreau will collect from behind the net. Here's Garreau back to Eagle with a one-timer. That goes wide. Cressy will push it forward for Hallis, who clears his zone, takes a hard hit from Garreau, who gets the worst of the collision. Off to the near side. Here's Nelson, able to scoop it forward on the backhand. Here's Tho to the far side boards, poked at by Dickinson, who'll start the breakout. He'll find Garreau. Here's a shot by Dickinson. That's turned aside by Furland. Now Robinson turns it over. Here's Jacome on the far side boards. So he'll try to get away from Topatai. Princeton looking to start the breakout. Here's a pass forward now. Broken up by the Golden Knights. Sherazin at the top of the circle. Here's Kevin Sherazin working into the corner. Dickinson with an off-angle chance. That's stopped by Furland, who's going to hang on for the whistle as Jack Jacome and Jackson Cressy with a couple shoves either way. They'll be separated by the referees with 3:54 left in this third period of play.
And a great kill for the Golden Knights, only allowing Princeton to get one shot on goal and able to get 3 more since the start of that. Now shots 33-24, and Clarkson really pushing back, trying to get one before the end of this. 3:54 to go.
Here's Grande with it. He'll connect now with his man as Becker's going to fire this one off the end boards. Getting there first is Amorosa. He's pressured in the corner. He'll connect with Jack Jacome. Now advance for Dickinson. Past center ice. Into the line now is Gervais, dropping it off for Summers. He'll spin it right down low, looking for his man. Able to find Jacome now with a shot. That's turned aside. Back at the point. Karjalainen with a chance. And that's again turned aside by Furland. Not out of the zone. Second chance opportunity will do it. As Summers going to poke this one forward. Tapped in over the Clarkson line by Luke Keenan. Kiley comes out to play it. Karjalainen will start it right back up. And as soon as players get in position, there's Karjalainen to the far side. Kelly Summers right back for Karjalainen, just too far for him. He'll have to catch up to this. He'll tap it forward for Brasseau, gaining the line. Here's Brasseau trying to drop it back. That's picked up by Verano and onto Ryan Kuffner. Here's Kuffner, centering pass for Verano, goes into the corner. Verano still in pursuit. Now he'll connect with Rich. Trying to put that one out in front, goes off a stick and down the ice. Here's Matt Nelson, angled forward for Kuffner, lofted in front, knocked away nicely by Rempel. Although he used a high stick, that's going to draw the whistle, but got it away from Alex Rich, who is posted up in that low slot looking for that pass.
This offense that Clarkson has shown in the last couple minutes, just getting all the shots on net in the offensive zone. That's the kind of stuff we saw when they went on that 14-game win streak earlier in the season, just absolutely peppering the goalies. And it's tough to be a goalie if you're facing 40-plus shots in a night. Trying to make those saves at the end of the game can get tough as you get beat down and just tired by the end of the 60 minutes.
Here's a chance for Garreau, just goes wide of the net. Nice feed from Harold's Eagle. That nearly put the Golden Knights on top. Here's Morrow at the point with a shot. Another chance for Eagle. He is taken into Furland.
It looks like it's going to be a Clarkson power play as Eagle was taken out by the captain, Joe Grabowski, right in front of Ryan Furland. 2:13 to go, and Clarkson's gonna go with a man advantage for 2 minutes and try and sort this one out. And there'll be 13 seconds left of even strength if Princeton is able to kill this one off.
So a big chance here for the Golden Knights. They'll bring up the top. Rempel with a shot that's blocked. Tevis will clear the zone. Summers can't keep it in. As Kiley comes out to play, it'll scoop it away from Germain. as he'll find this in the corner, pinning it up against the boards, as Rempel and Brosseau will dig away at it. It's Amorosa. He'll start the rush for the Golden Knights, gaining the blue line and over. Here's Amorosa tapping the brakes. They go back to the point for Summers. Bouncing puck gets the best of him, as the Knights will have to start it up once more from their own zone. Long pass forward for Sturm, gains the line. He is knocked off the puck by Nelson, and Cressy will fire this one all the way down. Clarkson will try this one again, as Sheldon Rempel will drop it off for Kelly Summers. Minute 12 left to go in the power play. Pass to the far side for Devin Brosseau. Able to get past Nelson. Here's Brosseau putting it off the side of the net. Furlan's going to put a paw on it and get the whistle. .116 remains in regulation, 104 in the power play. Clarkson with the late man advantage, trying to sort this one out in regulation, as we have a 3-3 tie between Clarkson and Princeton. I believe we're seeing a timeout from Princeton. Pardon me, it is Clarkson, so Casey Jones is going to get the whiteboard out, draw this one up. He's got the second unit out there on the ice, and he'll get a solid 60 seconds to talk this one over with his troops, get a game plan on how to get this one past Ryan Furland.
Yeah, Furland's been solid in net, giving up 3 goals on 35 shots now, so making 32 saves, which for any goaltender at any level is a good amount. And standing tall still. Clarkson not able to get a whole lot in the first 56 seconds of the power play. We'll see if they can get something going here, set something up, and just get some shots on net. Maybe hope for one that lingers around the crease. Just a little bit of puck luck is all you need at this point.
And I was curious with the timeout if Casey Jones would decide to bring the top unit back out. However, they did struggle a bit on that last shift, as they really weren't able to keep it in the zone. It looks like that is the move Jones is going to make. He'll bring the top unit right back out. So we'll see what they can do with this faceoff to the glove side of Ryan Furland. No surprise here, Nico Sturm will be the man on the dot, as a rare loss for Sturm will give Tevis a chance to clear. A nice glove by Amorosa keeps it alive. Back at the right point, it's Summers. Over for Amorosa, down low for Brosseau with a one-timer. He fans on the shot. Another chance for Rempel trying to go upstairs, and Ryan Furland will make the save. As again, pushing and shoving just to the side of the net. Rempel and Sturm in there for the Golden Knights, as they now will separate. But some nice movement from the Golden Knights, but Ryan Furland able to get the best of them.
Terrence Amorosa showing that leg strength and that vertical, getting up there, really jumping to grab and glove that puck down, as I thought for sure it was gonna make its way out of the zone, but able to keep it in and get a good chance.
Here's Sturm pulling it back for Rempel off the draw. Summers back for Amorosa, fakes the shot, now finding Rempel at the dot. Works back to Amorosa. Now Kelly Summers, over to Amorosa once more, they'll switch sides. Looking down low for Brosseau. He'll work it back to the far point. Now here's Rempel, plays it with the skate up to his blade. He'll come back to the top of the zone. Rempel looking for Summers with a shot. That is blocked. It's underneath Josh Tevis as they all dig away at it. Finally comes loose in the corner. Scoop back for Summers. Now here's Amorosa over for Rempel. He'll circle back at the top of the circle. Here's Sheldon Rempel dropping off for Amorosa, fakes a shot down low. Devin Brosseau able to work it away from Tevis behind the net, as we're about to return to 5-on-5. 15 seconds left in regulation. Off the near side boards, here's Sturm back to the point. Amorosa with a shot that's blocked away by Furland. Another chance, and Furland's gonna cover up and get the whistle. So a nice penalty kill by Princeton will keep Clarkson off the scoreboard.
And a couple opportunities there to move the puck around, and Rempel opt to look for a shooting lane and maybe could have gotten that one across the ice. We've seen at least 2 of the goals tonight come from getting Ryan Ferland moving across his crease. We saw that work on the power play, and we saw Devin Brousseau score on a pass from Rempel. So really, that might be the solution in beating Ferland here tonight.
Kuffner's going to scoop this into the corner. Kuffner with it once more. He'll just kill the last couple seconds of regulation, and that'll do it for the third period of play. We'll get some free hockey here for this crowd here at Shield Arena and the viewers back at home. A 3-3 tie as we head into a 5-minute overtime period. A scoreless third period, as I guess we've headed into every period of this game with a tie. After the first period, it was 1-1. After the second, 3-3, and that stands at this point as we head into overtime. So we'll backtrack. We'll give you a recap of how we got to where we are now. You can check our Twitter for highlights of these goals, as it would be Princeton who started it off in the first period on the power play. Ryan Kuffner would put one in on the back door, but Clarkson would follow suit with a power play goal of their own, as Amorosa would find Rempel on the doorstep, banging home a one-timer. That would tie it up. Carrying that into the second period, Sheldon Rempel would then assume the playmaker role, feeding Devin Brousseau for his 8th goal of the season. Clarkson again would expand that lead to 3-1 as Jack Jacome would feed Dickinson for a nice wrister at the right faceoff dot. From there, it was Eric Robinson who would take over, had 2 goals of his own, the second one on a breakaway off a Clarkson turnover, and that would stand through the third period. Neither team able to put one in the back of the net. So I guess teams making some adjustments in that third period, really able to tighten up defensively, as we saw some breakdowns defensively for both of these teams in the earlier periods. A lot better in their own ends in that third period of play, and that's the type of responsibility that they're going to want to see in this overtime period.
And we've seen Clarkson in this stretch of 10 games unable to close games. They tied Brown during cold out, gold out weekend. They came up with a tie, I believe, against Colgate. They tied Cornell 0-0 in a very big game in conference play at the time, number 1 and number 2. So to see them close this one out would be big. For them, they just want to hope to get at least the tie. The tie gets them 1 point, but the loss will get them absolutely nothing. So they're going to look for the goal, but you want to focus on not letting Princeton get the goal as well.
I think at this point they got to go all in for the win. On this winless streak, they need to get some momentum going. This would be a great psychological win for the Golden Knights if they can find the back of the net in this overtime period. Princeton will collect from behind their own goal line. However, this is going to be whistled down just 16 seconds into this overtime period. We'll have a face-off in Princeton territory. As Pirog will face off with Alex Rich on the near side of the offensive zone. Puck is dropped, kicked back by Pirog, and just out of the zone. Here's Kuffner tapping it in on the backhand in the corner. Amorosa will collect. He'll put it off the far side boards. Eagle looking for Pirog, that's off the mark. Chance down low, Kiley makes the save as Max Verano looking to bury that one in the back of the net. Kiley shuts the door and covers up. So it'll be a defensive zone draw for the Golden Knights. Both teams making line changes just 32 seconds into this overtime period. Clarkson's going to bring out Gervais, Jacome, and Dickinson up front. Look for Gervais to take this face-off. Gervais and Cressy on the draw. Poked forward by Jack Jacome. They'll start the rush. Coming in 2-on-2, Aaron Tho, the trailer. Now here's Dickinson looking for Tho with a shot. That is saved and now covered up by Ryan Ferland. And several Clarkson players whacking away, looking for a second chance opportunity. And the freshman netminder able to hang on and get the whistle.
Some good news for Clarkson, as on the out-of-town scoreboard, Brown able to upset Harvard, and So as of now, Clarkson still sitting in that 3 seed for a better matchup next year. Sorry, 2 weekends from now.
Here's Princeton in their own zone. Nelson will drop it back behind the goal line, looking for Grabowski. Starting the breakout now is Hallisey. His pass is just off the mark. Greg Morrow will recollect for the Golden Knights. He'll tap it off the glass. Now collected by Sturm. Goes up in the air, gloved down by Jackson Cressy. He'll spin it right back in. Kiley comes out to play it. He'll leave it behind the net. Hallisey nearly capitalized on the turnover. It was poked away at the last moment by Kiley. Here's Robinson at the dot with a shot that rockets wide of the net. At the point, kept alive by Topatai. Sent right back down low on the far side. Here's Nico Sturm, able to whack it forward on the backhand. Sent right back the other direction by Jeremy Germain. Kiley comes out to play it. He'll leave it for Sheldon Rempel. 3:25 left to go in this overtime period as it's scooped right back in by Germain. Here's Tho, taking a hit from Liam Grande. He'll find Brett Gervais in the process. Here's Gervais streaking down the near side. That's broken up by the Tigers and brought right back the other way by Grande with a shot that goes high and wide. Off to the far side board, stepping up to the point was Yoakum. As Clarkson will regain possession, Jacome will connect with Morrow behind the net. Now Amorosa, pass forward for Jacome. It's going to trickle back behind the goal line. Topatai gets there first, pressured by Dickinson as he is taken to the boards. Here's Jacome, unable to keep it in the zone, comes back for Amorosa. Now Karjalainen, he'll tap it forward on the backhand. Brett Gervais looking for Amorosa. He'll gain the blue line, winding and firing. A glove save made. Rebound is loose and clear to the near side boards. Here's Amorosa behind the goal line for Jacome. Puts it out in front. No one there except for Ryan Kuffner. Let's bring it back the other way for Princeton. Fans on the clearing attempt. Will now tap it in over the line. Goes up in the air, now knocked down by Kuffner. Out in front, Rich with a shot. That goes wide and rebound chance. Wrapped around. Kiley makes the save. Here's Garreau, who will put it off the glass and clear the zone. Hustling after it is Eagle. He is bodied off the puck by Tom. Here's Eagle again behind the goal line. Looking for options. He'll tap it right back behind for Tho. Trying to put it out in front. That's blocked by Cressy. As Tho given a rough ride on the near side boards into the corner. Eagle battling away with Matthew Tom. Collecting the loose puck is Cressy. He'll drop it right back for Josh Tevz. Just under 2 minutes left to go in this overtime period. Kept in the zone by Eagle, who's going to peel off on a line change. Matthew Tom back after it. Pass forward for Tevz. They'll bring it in the line with a shot that's blocked over to the far side. Sturm battling with Eric Robinson. As now Jackson Cressy looking to put it out in front for Hallisey, broken up by the Golden Knights. Here's Rempel. He'll connect with Devin Brasseux. Minute 20 left to go. Lifted forward for Sturm. Here's a chance for Sturm as he'll circle back, looking for Rempel, turning in, firing, directed away by Furland. In the corner they battle. A minute 10 left to go. Here's Sturm. Back to the point. Summers with a shot that goes wide. Stepping up is Tho. Another shot that's blocked. And now Eric Robinson will start the rush. Summers back to oppose him, blocking the shot as Nelson will find it in the corner, tapping it down low for Hallisey. Recovering for the Golden Knights is Sheldon Rempel. 48 seconds left in overtime. Here's Sheldon Rempel. Long pass forward as Knights were hung up on line changes. Smart play by Gervais to hop back on the bench, trying to avoid a too many men call. However, it will be an icing against the Golden Knights.
And I'll come down to the left of Jake Kiley. 40.3 seconds left on the clock. And an offensive zone draw for the Tigers. So, of course, they're going to have their top line of Ryan Kuffner, Alex Rich, and Max Verano out there.
Jones waving Devin Brasseux over to the bench now, as Clarkson still trying to finalize their personnel and taking their time here after that icing call. And it's your opinion whether or not that's fair of Jones to be doing. However, it's gonna give the Knights the time to catch their breath after the icing call. It'll be Brasseux and Rich on the faceoff. Comes right back to the dot, knocked down by Verano, looking to put it out in front. Here's a chance for Rich, can't get the shot off, hammering it from the point as Topatai goes wide of the net. Just under 40 seconds left. Here's a pass for Rempel, driving in over lane. He'll try to cut out in front, one hand on the stick. Here's Sheldon Rempel on the near side. Works it back to the point. Carolina with a shot through traffic. Save is made by Furland. He's going to hang on for the whistle. 25.6 left in this overtime period, as both teams looking for a hero in the waning moments of overtime. Clarkson trying to break this winless streak of theirs and just an overall slump through this last 10 games. 1-5-4 is their record through their last 10, as they've really gotten off pace with what we saw from them earlier on this season, as the clock will now be run down to 20.2.
And so far, really, one of the best players in tonight's game has been Ryan Furland. Clarkson now registering 40 shots as overtime comes to a close, and he's made stops on 37 of those, which are great numbers for a goalie, especially a freshman that has played almost every game for this Princeton Tigers team. 3 games being played by the senior Ben Halford, and Furland so far has played 20-plus games, going 11, 10, and 3 with a 3.17 goals against average and a 908 save percentage. So he's been their backbone back between the pipes, and his work is really showing and paying off tonight, as Clarkson has come out in the third period. They were down in shots early on, and they've just peppered them on Furland, and he has stood tall, not let a goal in since the second period.
Yeah, he's had to make some big saves here tonight. He's done a nice job to keep Princeton in this one, with Clarkson now leading on the shot total 40-25. We just saw a timeout called by Princeton. Head coach Ron Fogarty gathering the troops and drawing up the defensive plan to try to keep Clarkson from finding a late goal here in overtime. It'll be Nico Sturm on the draw for Clarkson. Opposing him is the junior Alex Rich. On the near side dot, puck is dropped, won by Sturm, however intercepted by Verano, as it'll be brought by Kuffner. Looking for Verano on the near side. He'll toss it right out in front, played away by Kiley. 10 seconds left to go. Here comes Sturm with some speed. Pass forward for Jacome. It's intercepted by Tevis as he collides with Jacome. Goes right back behind the net. Stepping up from the point is Amorosa. And the buzzer sounds to end regulation as everyone gets involved in a skirmish behind the net. As everyone going at it, everyone but the 2 goaltenders. As the referees try to get involved, Tevis slams Dickinson to the ice as a couple gloves have been dropped. And I believe it's Rich who lost his helmet.
Yeah, I think it all started. Jacome made a legal play hard into the boards on Max Verano, and Alex Rich, not a fan of it, and came over and gave Jacome a little extra right at the buzzer. And Jacome went down hard, and teammates came to help out. Jack Jacome, who stands at 5'7", 160 pounds, not much behind him. So definitely not okay for, in terms of these Clarkson players' minds, to be picking on Jacome and standing up for him. But a 3-3 tie is the result, despite that little skirmish at the end of the game. And the 2 teams will maybe skate for handshakes.
That's a definite maybe. We'll keep an eye on it. I think we really can conclude these teams do not like each other as they still try to go at it. Sturm trying to give Alex Rich a piece of his mind as Rich will head back to the locker room. The referees trying to diffuse the tension here as this one got heated at times, and that was definitely the epitome right there as time ran out in overtime. And it was a really exciting game. As far as ties go, I've told you this many times, Brian, I hate when games end in ties. You can say what you want about the shootout. However, it's an effective way to avoid having these tied games. You know, in playoff action, you want to see them play until someone scores, you know, in regular play, avoiding the shootout. However, in regular season, I like a shootout to give us a definite victor to avoid the tie. But this was an exciting game. A lot of offense both ways. 65 combined shots, 6 goals. It's been an exciting day here at Shield Arena. 11 goals in the earlier game with the women taking on Yale, and then another great game here against Princeton. A couple goals from the top line. We mentioned they got reunited. Brousseau, Rempel, and Sturm up front. Rempel and Brousseau with a couple of goals, as Robinson had 2 of his own. Ryan Kuffner would add another one for Princeton. It looks like we will have some handshakes after players get a moment or two to settle down, let the tensions diffuse. A show of sportsmanship here for these two teams after a hard-fought tie. So, Brian, we're going to have some more action here at Shield Arena tomorrow. It's a busy weekend of hockey here at Shield. 3 p.m. will be the second game of the women's quarterfinals. The Golden Knights taking on Yale. And then following that will be the conclusion of the regular season for the Clarkson men's team, taking on Quinnipiac at a 7 o'clock start. And some lofty expectations, I guess, now for the women's team, putting up 10 goals here today. I'm skeptical whether or not they'll be able to do that again tomorrow. I think Yale's going to come out very aggressive, try to respond against them. Definitely going to be some emotion in that Yale locker room. Not the way that those seniors on the team want to go out after losing 10-1 today. They're going to try and fight back and at least extend this thing into Sunday, as it's a best of 3. And we'll see what they're able to do tomorrow. They went through all 3 of their goaltenders in today's contest. The coach just trying to get some sort of spark underneath his players, and nothing really doing after just 1 goal put up by the Bulldogs. So we'll definitely have an interesting game in the afternoon, and then in the evening another one, as Clarkson will try and get something going. We talked about so much. It would be so big if they got a win, try and get something going before the season concludes, before playoffs start, but they'll have a chance with Quinnipiac tomorrow to see if they can get something on the seniors' last game of their regular season. So 2 more games coming up tomorrow. Check our Twitter for links to our YouTube stream, or you can go on YouTube and search WCKN Television to find our live stream. So from all of us here at WCKN, I am Kevin Carlin. Alongside me is Brian Warner. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Hope to see you again tomorrow for some more action here at Shield Arena. So thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.